Food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by HialeahParkCasino.com. Enjoy simulcast racing, dining, a magnificent poker room, and a casino with the most popular machines on the market. OKCoin.com. Download the app on iOS, Google Play, or Windows. OKCoin.com with over 50 different coins and incredible staking rewards. Pallet Rack City. There's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
The Big O Radio Show originates from the OKCoin Studios. OKCoin is one of the largest fiat to crypto trading platforms in the world. Founded in 2013, OKCoin offers advanced features for crypto beginners and high-volume traders alike, enabling users in 184 countries worldwide. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the OKCoin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
We ready to rock. We ready to roll on a beautiful Friday. And I think we just woke everybody up here at the KSDT CPA offices in Dadeland. Yeah. All right. I love it. Look at the banner in the back too, huh, Sean? Looking sharp. Welcome aboard, folks. We'll be rocking till about 1 p.m. this afternoon. We got a loaded program for you. Ira Winderman's going to join us in a couple of minutes. We'll talk a little Miami Heat basketball with him, as tonight we await the game between the Hawks and the Cavs. The winner will have the luxury of getting their asses kicked by the Miami Heat in the first round. Hawks are favored by 2.5, so that'll be going on tonight. The Pelicans, fly Pelican, fly. They are on tonight at 10 o'clock taking on the Clippers on TNT. So we got a little NBA basketball. The Marlins won their home opener yesterday, 31,000 in attendance. How many did 31,000 actually pay to go there? I mean, that's impressive, by the way. I saw that number. I saw the crowd. I said, damn, this is pretty good. Good for the Marlins. They're 2-4, not an impressive start. But, hey, man, listen, if you can pick up a couple of extra wins against the Phillies this weekend, you can get that record back to, getting closer to 500. Or who knows, maybe you can end up over 500 if you can make a run here against the Phillies over the weekend. Alcantara, nice outing for him. So we got a lot of things to talk about today on the program. Tua had an interview with the Fish Tank and had some interesting comments that I want to go over with Tua. So we got that going on. Ira will join us at 10:10. Manny Navarro will stop by at 11 a.m. So we'll talk a little Miami Hurricanes. Remember, we got the scrimmage tomorrow, and the scrimmage is sold out. over there at Drive Pink Stadium, which my prediction is that's the only thing that's going to get sold out at Drive Pink Stadium this year, because I don't think Inter Miami is going to sell out a damn thing this year. But although I will say, hey, listen, I don't know, maybe what we saw this past Saturday against Inter, we'll see. They play against Seattle on Saturday.
Yeah.
In Seattle, which I know is a game Chris Henderson wants badly. But we'll see if what we saw last week was real or Memorex, as the old commercial would
Not
be.
only that, but does Neville have the cojones
to keep
Higuain off the pitch?
Well, I mean, it's not his guy. It's not his problem.
It's not, but
so
might be some pressure.
Yeah, but I mean, after watching them play, you can't keep the old. I would bring them off.
They
bench.
look like a totally different. The energy on that pitch was amazing.
I would bring the old man off the bench from here on off towards the end. If I need a goal or something, I tell him, "Yo, old man, just stay in the box. Don't get out of the box. Just stay in the box. We'll try to set you up, but we can't. You're useless." He's Tim Duncan. I mean, I'm sorry. He's Duncan Robinson. Now that we're about to talk to Ira Winderman, if Higuain is not scoring goals for you, he's useless.
Yes.
Can't
100%.
dribble, can't pass, can't defend,
slow,
can't possess the ball, can't do anything. Gonzalo Higuain is an older version of Duncan Robinson. We just figured that out. And you know what I like about Ira, right? Not like most writers. Ira's a man of all sports. While he is the NBA and Heat man in town, we all know that, and he's been the guy for 30 plus years. Yes, Ira, you're old, just like I am. But he's a man of. I could talk hockey, soccer, baseball, football. I could talk anything with Ira.
He's my favorite place. A buffet of sports knowledge.
Yeah. Him and Jason Cole are two of the guys over the years, because beat writers, and Ira maybe won't take the shot at other beat writers, but I'll do it. A lot of beat writers don't really follow all sports. They only follow mostly their team that they're covering, and then the league itself. They don't really have time. It's not a shot at them. It's just when you're following a beat, it takes up your whole time. But somehow or another, people like Ira and Jason Cole, I could always have conversations with them about other things because they always end up following all the other sports. How, I don't know how Ira and Jason would do that, but they are two of the guys that I've run into over the years. And Alan Poupar is like that too, by the way. Let me not leave Alan Poupar out. Alan also is one of those cats that I can talk to him about almost anything, except maybe soccer. I don't think Alan's a soccer guy. I don't think he's a soccer guy, So, yeah, Greater Good says Ira Winderman is the man. Yes, he is. And guess what? The man is next. He's going to join us. We're going to talk a little Heat basketball with our Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report. That is next.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
Is Ira Winderman ready to rock and roll? Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
I am good. I was watching as Campagna scored his 3 goals last week, and I had the same thought as you. There is someone willing to put in the work. There is someone relentless. And, you saw the 3rd goal. It was sort of a cheap goal. It got stuck there, and he was digging and digging and digging in the corner for that ball to roll across. He never gave up. He never said, this is too much work. He said, this is what needs to be done. And that is the problem with MLS. The thought of they're going to bring in aging stars who then come over, look at it as a vacation. And you know what? If you remember, because I remember you do this, the old days of the North American Soccer League, it got to that point also. Yes, I love my Cosmos, and they brought over Pele, and they brought over Canalia. But at the end, it was just a retirement tour. And instead of featuring the best and the brightest of your level, you're not going to take people out of the Premier League, but still rising stars, young, energetic players. That's what you want. You've spoken about it with the Heat. You were sick of the gray beers. You wanted to see some young energy like the Heat infused this year. Same thing, I think you're going to have to take that approach, especially, I think Inter Miami came in as an expansion team and wanted to be great right away. That never works. You maybe have a year of success signing all these other players who sort of are just glad to collect the paycheck. Yeah, I wouldn't change anything. When you beat the Revolution as soundly as they did, I am staying with that approach until something changes. I totally agree with what you and Sean were talking about.
Yeah, and let me tell you, the speed, even the mistakes they made in that game, even the goal they gave up, even the penalty in the box, that showed me even that was speed put him in that position to do that and create that penalty and everything. But throughout the game, the youth, the speed, the problem with the MLS now, it's not a problem. It's a great thing that's going on with the MLS is that you keep bringing some of these old guys and some of that thinking is still there. The
Mhm.
problem is most of the league has moved on. Most
Yes.
of the league is actually investing in young players. So those of you that are still stuck in your days of, oh no, we got to bring this big name. Well, dude, if he can't run, these young guys are going to run him right off the field, and that's what we kept watching with Higuain. They kept stealing the ball away from him like he's the kid that they're taking candy away from him every day, at school. They're taking his lunch money and all that. And that's because Higuain is too slow and not athletic enough to keep up with the young
And
players.
of course, he arrived here for a vacation. And once you get that
Exactly.
attitude, you are dead.
Right. You're smoking cigarettes and you're hanging around and you're not in shape and you think you're just going to take over the league.
Right.
And Chicharito went through the same problem a couple of years ago when they brought him over and he struggled in LA in a big time way. And it's kind of a wake up call because you don't realize how faster this league is and how much younger it is now and physical. And that's the thing, that there's an adjustment. And now Henderson, with that injection of youth, I would not change a damn thing. Higuain would come off the bench for me now. If I need a score desperately or whatever, and I'd tell him, because he reminds me a lot of Roy Lassiter, except slower. He needs to be in the box.
No, you're right. You're down by 10 minutes ago at the 80-minute mark. He's
Right.
just going to play in the forward third anyway. So
Right.
you're not telling him to come back and defend. You're telling him, hey, when that ball goes over the top, do something with it. We need a finisher. Yeah, there could be a role there. And you know what? As long as he's cashing checks, I'd almost bet he'd be fine with that.
Yep.
But we digress.
I'm with you there 100%. All right, so let's by the way, that injection of youth, let me play off of that thing that
Sure.
you just said about the Miami Heat. How beneficial has it been for the veterans now? Because it's something maybe we don't look at. How much more would they have been worn down if Yurtseven and Martin and Vincent and
Hero.
Hero? No, not Hero. The fourth young guy, uh,
Struess.
Struess. If those four guys don't come through
You know
this,
what? But I'm going to put Hero in. I'm going to put Hero in there also as a 21 and
he's a
22-year-old.
first rounder. But he's a first rounder.
But I'm saying, but for
There's
youth. But I'm
hesitation.
saying, but for youth. And here's the reason.
I got
When-
you.
When you talk about youth, because of the youth of Caleb Martin, Jimmy Butler doesn't have to bust his butt out there to defend every premier player. A matter of fact, if they wind up with the Hawks, you're going to see a ton of Caleb Martin on Trae Young. You know what? You'll probably see a ton of Caleb Martin on Darius Garland if they play the Sixers. Then you could look at it the other way. Because of Tyler Hero's offense, Kyle Lowry never had to be, at 35, 36-year-old this season, a scorer. He was able to play off of Tyler Hero. Jimmy Butler to an extent also. So they saved those old legs from having to do it because they had the youth also to help carry them through. The 82 are hard. Get me through the 82 and keep my mid-30 guys ready for the final 28 games, 16 wins, however you want to look at it. That's why you need that balance. If you're just old, everyone's exhausted at the end, and you're just limping to a series loss with Zoe and Hardaway and Charlotte, and you realize, you know what, guys? You guys were, but you might not be anymore, and the age makes a difference. There's such a nice blend with the Heat. There's high paid, there's low paid, there's old, there's young, there's offensive minded, there's defensive minded. You really have put together a nice roster.
And let me tell you something. It's been a luxurious argument with you and me, going back and forth talking about Duncan Robinson. And, for months I've been saying, put him on the bench and start, obviously Strus. And eventually that's what happened. Thank God Strus played the way he played, okay? Because we talked about how the young guys have helped the older guys with the Heat get through the season, right? Well, it also helped Duncan Robinson not face more heat because if Strus and some of those young guys don't show up and they're just young guys,
Right.
and then all of a sudden now Robinson is inconsistent, but you need him badly because you don't have those young guys performing, the criticism for Duncan Robinson would have gone way higher. But
And that
because of Strus and all of that, kind of saved Duncan Robinson a little heat this year.
And you know what? To go back to your comparison, and he could be more like Higuain at the end of a game. Just come in and make some threes, Duncan. We're not counting you to start. We're not counting on you for 40 quality minutes. We're counting on you for moments. So go in there with Tyler, go in with the second unit, make a few threes, let Jimmy rest, let Kyle rest, and we'll pick it up. Yeah, you flip the roles. Before it was Duncan as starter, Strus as specialist. Now it's Strus as starter, Duncan as specialist. I don't care about the salaries, Big O, this time of year. I don't give a rat's ass if you're making $25 million or $2 million. It's go time. Give me my best rotation. Give me my best players in those moments. And you know what? If you hurt some feelings, screw it. You have all summer to take care of that also. This is go time. Give me my 9 guys who work best together, and that very well might not include Victor Oladipo. And when it comes for hard feelings and guys, who are taking it the wrong way, I'll sit down with you in July, August, September. We'll take care of that. We'll get ready for next season. Go time now. My best play, my most efficient are the ones I'm putting to work.
Hey, don't be surprised if, when the Heat take the court again, Duncan's jersey says Duncan Higuain, and he's like smoking a cigarette outside the locker room. Maybe he's sharing cigarettes with Pat Riley now.
And maybe and instead of a couple of PKs, he shoots the technical free throws when needed. Whatever, like Spoelstra's going to tell us later today at practice, whatever it takes to get 16 more victories.
Amen to that. All right. What do we know about PJ Tucker? We know he's going to do whatever it takes to be ready. But one of the things I talked with Anthony Chang about yesterday, and again, we had the luxury argument of Duncan Robinson, whether it hurt, help, whatever, they could overcome it all year long. Well, now you look at this, whether it's the Cavs or the Hawks, do you need PJ Tucker in the first round? So if you're the Miami Heat, do you protect PJ Tucker from PJ Tucker and you say, PJ, we're going to slow walk this like we've been slow walking with every player nowadays. We don't hurry you back. We want you 100%. Plus, wink, wink, we don't really need you against the Cavs or the Hawks. So how do you balance that, Ira? Publicly, they're not going to tell us that, but you and I know they can get by without PJ Tucker in that series. So how do you handle that injury with PJ Tucker? Do you slow walk it?
I'm still putting him out there in the starting lineup as a tenderizer, just to mess up the young kids, to be physical. So whether it's John Collins for the Hawks or Evan Mobley for the Cavs, I want them to get some sort of old guy strength, to let them know there's still a sheriff in town who was a champion last season with the Bucks. Caleb Martin's probably going to come in and get a bunch of time. Who knows? You might be able to spot Markieff Morris in there. And like you said, and Anthony said, save PJ Tucker. But you know what? I'll take PJ Tucker's veteran savvy every time against these young whippersnappers, there's an old person word, who thinks that they know that they can do it best. So whether it's John Collins or Evan Mobley, you're going to have relatively bigger front lines. I want some PJ Tucker. Doesn't have to be 40, doesn't have to be 30 minutes, but I think he'll be enough there just to get those guys a little bit off their games to help shake things up. He's a benefit. Remember, a year ago, I'm writing this in my Sunday column, the Heat had 7 different players on their playoff roster than now. They were trying to play the playoffs with toothpick Trevor Ariza as their starting power forward. Right. They were destroyed by about 15 rebounds a game by the Bucks. I'm more comfortable right now having Dwayne Dedmon in there, having PJ Tucker in there, having a little more bulk and size. So I don't think they go away from that. Yes, they will play matchup based, but yes, they cannot allow to happen what happened last year against the Bucks, when really, Big O, they got sand kicked in their face for 4 straight games.
Does it matter who they play? Hawks, Cavs? I mean, tonight decides who faces the Miami Heat.
It does, because stylistically it's different. Here's the deal. If you play the Cavaliers, you were double-teaming Darius Garland, and you were saying, anyone else beat us. Right. Go ahead, whether it's Isaac Okoro, whether it's Karis LeVert, who struggled in that game against Brooklyn on Tuesday. There's not another guy who's a bucket getter. The difference is then you swarm Trae Young. But you know what? If Bogdan Bogdanovic, if Danilo Gallinari, maybe even Lou Williams come back and they're hitting shots, they do have other shot creators and scorers, so it's a little different. I know people are talking about the height of the Cavs. If Jared Allen comes back tonight, if Evan Mobley comes back tonight, if Larry Markkinen comes back tonight. But I'll take the shorter Heat with their grit and their guile, and I think they'll be fine there on what Bam Adebayo can do. This has to be a breakout moment for Bam Adebayo. Clint Capella has eaten the Heat's lunch off the boards this season and last season. When you look at what Jared Allen has done and the size of the Cavs, Bam has to play big and he has to play strong. So I think if you're almost asking me, Ira, we don't know who the Heat are facing in the first round. It could be Atlanta. It could be Cleveland. I'm telling you either way, Big O, I think Bam Adebayo has to be sort of the swing player. He has to come out and he has to show no matter who we play, the matchup in the middle belongs to me.
What are you hearing about Ben Simmons? Because now they're talking about bringing him back and possibly playing him a couple of minutes. How do you feel about
This
that?
is nonstop liar's poker going on between the Celtics and the Nets. So the Nets are saying that, and then the Celtics are saying, we're going to up the ante. Robert Williams might be back by the middle of this series. So you have two teams trying to put thoughts in the other team's mind that they have to adjust their game plans, that there might be plan X and plan Y and something else. This is how playoffs play out. Both teams are going to start this series with their available core. The team that blinks might have to rush someone back sooner. But man, Robert Williams played 4 weeks ago. He's in a rhythm of the season. Ben Simmons has not played since last June. I think it's awfully hard to rush a player back like that, whether it's him, whether it's the Clippers, maybe eventually getting Kawhi Leonard back right now. I think when you miss that amount of time, you simply never get in sync as quickly as you can. So I think it's more of a threat from the Nets. But obviously, Robert Williams at some point will come back and will make the Celtics a lot stronger. And Robert Williams is something they would need in the second round against Milwaukee.
Where are you going, Raptors or Sixers?
I'm going Raptors because the Sixers, to me, I don't want to say soft. I think Joel Embiid is arguably an MVP candidate this year. But I know what James Harden is like in the playoffs. And I know what Doc Rivers can be, the master of panic. Oh, we're up 20. What do you mean we're not up 20 anymore? Oh, we're up 3-1 in this series. What do you mean we lost this series? Look, that guy had a great run with the Celtics. But ever since then, it's been a little shaky in the playoffs. I love Nick Nurse. I love Fred VanVleet. Pascal Siakam has played like an all-NBA player this season. But Nick Nurse has overplayed his players. He's played like 2 reserves all year. I think Toronto, this is their last breath series. It's like you're playing the video games and your energy button is way down. I think they have just enough energy to squeeze out one series. And I think after that, the Raptors will be utterly exhausted from the Thibodeau-like big minutes their players have played. But yeah, I could see the Raptors taking that series from Joel Embiid and James Harden and Doc Rivers. Yeah, I think that is possible.
Nets, Celtics?
I'm live in fear of the Nets. But I see maybe what the Heat didn't have, Boston does. They have 2 big-time scorers also in Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. So I think they have enough to comfortably offset what Kyrie and KD can do. Plus, they have Marcus Smart, and they have a little more in reserve. Trade they made with the Spurs, I think, helped them also. I still think it can go 7, though. I think there are going to be other teams sitting back and going, ooh, game 7, let me get some popcorn.
How, compare, let's bring it local here a second.
Sure.
When it comes to the Celtics with Brown and Tatum, how much do they need a deep run, kind of like Barkov and Hubie and Ekblad, while they've had the great year that they've had, and they're one of them and the Avs are the best teams in the league. They still have to have that long, deep run into the playoffs to kind of break that ice finally for the Panthers and for themselves, for their, obviously for their history of being here, their legacy, in other words. So legacy-wise, how important is it for Tatum and Brown to finally start making an impact in the playoffs?
I think the Celtics, though, addressed it with the coaching change, whether Brad Stevens stepped aside on his own or was sort of nudged out the door.
You mean he's not going to the Lakers? He's not going to the Lakers? Oh,
I don't think so. I think you can get very comfortable in the management suite after dealing with the grueling coaching deal. But I think by moving to Ime Udoka, they've sort of started that transition of not being good enough. They made their tangible move. So I think that train has already gone there. I mean, the Panthers is crazy. You have an interim coach. Coach Q would have been here if not for something he did a decade ago in Chicago. So that's a little bit different. But I think the Boston story, because they made the coaching change, they already feel a bit of refresh. They can exhale a little. Look, they haven't gone
but Ira, if they get eliminated in this first round,
in the first round. Yes.
yeah, then Tatum and Brown have that label again of, yeah, you guys are great, you guys are talented, but you do nothing in the postseason.
I still think they will do like the Panthers did. They will move everyone else. They switched the coach already. They'll switch Marcus Smart. They'll do some of the ancillary stuff. Maybe say that the that Al Horford didn't work out. That's the difference, is they'll move around them. That's what the Panthers really have done. Like you said, with Huberdeau, Barkov, and Ekblad, they've moved all the pieces. They brought in Bob. It didn't work the first couple of years. They did switch the coach first to Coach Q and now to Andrew Burnett. So they've done that also. I think the teams are similar that way. They've rearranged all the ancillary furniture. Now we have to see if the other parts work. They sure as hell have worked during the season for the Panthers, and they sure as heck have worked to get Boston to the number 2 seed in the East.
Bulls have any shot against the Bucks?
I'd say a puncher's chance. Maybe they'll get a game because you know what? Maybe there'll be one game where DeMar DeRozan goes off or Zach LaVine goes off. So I think they'll get a game. Milwaukee finagled their way into that number 3 seed. They were playing literally ushers and vendors at the end of the season to fall to number 3. But Big O, then it becomes be careful what you wish for. Because if they play the Celtics in the second round as the road team, Mike, you and I a month from now saying, so Boston's home at Game 7, Ira. How smart are the Bucks right now? They gave up home court a chance in the Eastern Conference semis and the Eastern Conference finals to the Celtics and to the Heat willingly. Obviously, they think they're better than a Game 7. I think it's going to be really interesting to see if any Bucks series after this one do go the full 7 games.
Jazz Mavs, obviously Luka's
it's all on Luka, but I think the Jazz are a team that's almost ready for an implosion. They just simply can't get over the hump. They let up, I think it was like 3 20-point leads in the last month of the season. Look, individually, Quinn Snyder, really good coach. Rudy Gobert, really good anchor. Donovan Mitchell, really good heart of the team. You know, and you have a sort of an older player at point guard there also in Conley. But I think at a certain point, you have to blow things up also. The problem for the Jazz is this. They're not getting free agents. So if they're going to make trades, they have to be astute trades, and they have to bring in the right coach. I think that could be an all-or-nothing series for Utah. If they don't get out of it, I think you could see dramatic changes for the Jazz.
Why don't the Lakers go after Quinn Snyder?
And they might. And he's been linked to there, possibly someone else. You know what? Oh, you're phrasing it.
This whole thing of Brad Stevens, and I'm thinking, dude, I'm thinking while you're talking about this, I'm going, if I'm Quinn Snyder, I need to get the hell out of here already. And I think he's kind of worn his welcome there already.
But do you want to step into the Lakers? The Lakers have no cap space, have a bunch
He'll
of
never win in Utah. He'll never win in Utah. It's so
I know, but I think
Utah.
whoever interviews for the Lakers has to say this before they do anything to Rob Pelinka. What's your plan? And I think in a way, coaching candidates will be interviewing the Lakers more than the Lakers will be interviewing coaching candidates, at least the elite level of coach. How
much crap do I have to put up from LeBron, too?
Number one, but also, am I still left with injury-prone Anthony Davis? Is Westbrook really coming back? Or is he going to be on the John Wall, just get out of the way, we'll pay you kind of deal? Can you line up trades? Are you going to trade Taylor Horton, whatever it is, to
the 3-name dude, yes.
That's it. To somewhere else with Kendrick Nunn. So I think the leading candidates interview the Lakers versus the other way around.
That's crazy. And Horton is like one of the few young guys that you might want to like try to develop or something like that.
Now they're trying to sell us an Austin Reeves, and that's a bad team that was way below 500 with no sense of direction. You can rip the Knicks also for their season, but you know what? At least you have Quickly, at least you have RJ Barrett, at least you have Mitchell Robinson. At least you could say, okay, I can grow with this. There's nothing to grow with the Lakers.
No, you're right about that. And Tibbs? Do you keep Tibbs, by the way?
You know what? Again, he got him to the playoffs last year. It's not a great roster. It's one that has to be developed, but I think he's as good as any alternative you're going to have.
It just seems like he's a workout coach and a hustle coach, but it doesn't seem to me like he's out scheming anybody. You know what I'm saying?
He's getting you to outwork the other team with the right pieces, and they might have to move around some of the furniture on deck there.
Yeah. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat. More importantly, please subscribe to the South Florida Sunset. Support Ira and all the great writers there. and catch him 3 times a week doing his thing here on our program. Ira, have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy the playoff basketball.
And on Monday, in this Acura Pembroke Pines report, playoffs. We're talking playoffs. Finally, we'll have a game to talk about. Talk to you then, Big O. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. There you go. Ira Winderman and your Miami Heat report.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat. You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat and NBA Report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig's Inn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
You've had a rough morning today, haven't you?
It has not been my morning this morning. No, it hasn't. Started the show off wrong, and it's slowly spiraled
the
out of
password
control.
stuff earlier.
It started with the day. It started the day.
I love live, bro. I love live. Wow, you got all the new stuff, all the new imaging for Nature Bee in there already? Damn, that was good. That was strong. They just sent that yesterday. Yeah. By the way, right there, Nature Bee, use my code Big O there. Oh, yeah. I get that plant pollen in your system. 27 vitamins and amino acids, 28 minerals and antioxidants, man. Get in there. Feel the power of pollen, all natural from clean, green New Zealand. Comes right from Mother Earth. No chemicals, no one in a lab somewhere creating it. So it's great for the kids. It's great for the adults. Little Nature Bee, a little plant pollen. And, I love it because it boosts my immune system. That's one of the things that I love about my Nature Bee. Go to naturebee.com and you can use my code Big O, get free shipping there, and boost that immune system. naturebee.com. Check out the soaps. Check out the lip balm. Check out the wrinkle cream. My wife loves the wrinkle cream, by the way. They've got all kinds of great products. You don't get free shipping on those other things, but on the plant pollen, for sure, you'll get the free shipping. 1 month, 3 months, 6 months supply. And again, great for the kids. And they go to school with hundreds of other kids, and all they do is bring back germs, man. You know why I started Nature Bee years ago? I tried it because my wife's a teacher. And so it was like she was bringing crap every day, and it was like, dude, you're around kids all the damn time. And so she gets colds all the time. So I got her Nature Bee, got myself Nature Bee. She rarely gets colds, and she's around kids all the time. I rarely get colds, and my daughter. And that's kind of the same way. So the entire family, you can do the same thing. naturebee.com, baby. Feel the power of pollen. All right, what else do we have here? Remember, you want to get in on the Welt and Realm text line, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. Manny Navarro is set to join us at the top of the hour with our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report. Omar Kelly will stop by at 11:30, and Cameron Wolf at 12:30 with our KSDT CPA Miami Dolphins and NFL report. And hey, it's April 15 right now, man. Listen, if you haven't done your taxes yet and you're late, you're obviously going to be late. They did extend it to Monday, but call the great folks at KSDT CPAs. And whether it's personal, whether it's your business, they've got over 150 employees in this place, over 12 partners here. They've got offices here in Dadeland where we're at, and in Weston also. So if you're up in the Broward, Palm Beach area, we've got an office in Weston. But really, all you got to do is pick up the phone and call them. Go to the website, ksdtcpas.com. Check it out for yourself. They do it all, folks. Okay, so you definitely want to take care, and everything from wills to your taxes to your business taxes, you name it, everything. And they know, crypto too. For those of us that are into crypto, very important to call KSDT so you can protect yourself and make sure, because the crypto laws are they're tricky. So you got to, even tax laws are very tricky, and you want to make sure that you are as protected as possible. And that's what the great people here at KSDT CPAs are going to do for you. And tell them, of course, that our show sent you, and they will take care of you. Rosendo, good morning, Big O Nation. Jesus was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our inquisits. Let's see, the chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. Have a blessed day. You got me with a couple of tough words there that tricked me. Shout out to the Knights of Columbus at Holy Friday Catholic Church in North Miami. Right. What else do we have here? Good Friday, Finns fans praying Putin stands down. Yeah, well, it's there's a lot to pray for, but that animal is not one that really gets it, unfortunately. Just seems like it's only going to get uglier before it gets better over there. It's terrible what's going on. Let's see. Jay says, good morning, Orlando and Sean. Sunday can't come soon enough. Hope our Heat don't have to shake off any rust. Oh, they'll be fine. I'm not worried about that, Jay. They'll be fine. They'll be hungry. I think they're hungry for this moment. Kind of like the Panthers. I think the Panthers are also a kind of team that they can't wait for this moment, too. And Ray Sosa says, good morning, Big O. How are you doing this awesome Friday? We are doing great, sir. We are doing great. We are here at the KSDT offices in Dadeland. You want to get in on the Welton Realm text line, 855-912-1056. All right, I do want to get into a little Dolphins talk. And I know that we got baseball yesterday. We've got basketball tonight. We got a little hockey still going on over the weekend. We've got Inter Miami also playing. The NFL is preparing for the draft, which, by the way, will be in Las Vegas at the end of the month to cover the draft. And I know the Dolphins are kind of off right now, but Tua did an interview with the Fish Tank with O.J. McDuffie and Seth Levitt yesterday. Or was it yesterday or the day before? No, it was yesterday, right? They released it yesterday. It was the day before. By the way, it looked like Tua had just woken up, right? You could tell that's. Did you watch the interview? If you watch the interview, it looks to me like that interview was recorded early in the morning, and Tua had just woken up, because it just kind of looks like that. And there are some things there brought up in that interview, and I want to talk a little bit about some of them, because I thought there was some stuff there that was interesting that he brought up. And first of all, let me talk about the haters are going to love that interview. Yeah, the haters. Do you know why I say the haters are going to love that interview? Because the haters, in their eyes, got some ammunition, right? And I thought, listen, man, it's a cynical world. I've been at this for 32 years, so I think it's I think in a cynical way, right? And so he was asked about everything that they added on offense. And he says, I think pressure is everywhere, especially in any professional industry. He says, you're either going to make use of this opportunity with the guys we have, or you're not. That's what it is. I'm looking forward to making use of this opportunity. And, the haters, disbelievers, whatever you want to label yourself of Tua, that you don't think he's the guy, he's too short, has a noodle arm, can't stay healthy, not good enough, doesn't have work ethic, whatever excuse you want to come up with, right? That you've painted him into some corner like that. And now, those folks are like, well, they added offensive linemen, they added weapons, they gave him everything he needs. There are no excuses, right? All those friends of yours and coworkers and all that are non-believers or Tua, that's what they've told you after this offseason, right? oh, there are no excuses for Tua now, right? And so all of a sudden now he comes out and repeats the same thing that the haters and the disbelievers and the writers and the TV talking heads and the radio people have all said. Same thing. Well, he's got no excuses now. They got him Tyreek Hill. They got him Cedric. They re-signed Gesicki. They added Teron Armstead. They added Connor Williams. They added Chase. They added Mostert. Oh, this guy's got no excuses. They brought in Mike McDaniel and Frank and Applebaum and all this and that. And they got an offensive staff. Tua's got no excuses. So you got your money quote. There you go. You got your money quote. And the part that I think, again, the Tua disbelievers, haters, whatever you want to label yourself, this is not a guy that's ever shied away from a challenge. This is not the guy that when he busts his hip, he says, I'm not doing this anymore. This is not that guy. This is not the guy that busts his ankle and then has to have it fused, right? There's a titanium wire that is on his Achilles. And then on his ankle, on his other ankle, did it again. This is the guy that you break his, fracture his ribs, and he wants to come back as soon as possible, but the coach doesn't let him come back. And he plays. This is a guy that fractures his finger and continues to play. So for those of you out there that are just dying for him to fail, he's dying to prove everybody wrong. And he's motivated for it. And he is what I think people don't understand about Tua is instead of you thinking he doesn't have work ethic, no, he's going to outwork you actually. Instead of thinking that he can't do something, he will find a way to get it done. And one of the things we talked about yesterday, he has the worst line in the NFL, yet he was one of the least sacked quarterbacks. How does that happen? That happens because you're intelligent. That happens because you're athletic enough that you can figure things out and you can avoid stuff. This is a guy that is looking forward to this challenge. And for me, as a believer and supporter of Tua, I believe he will meet this challenge and excel. I believe he will be a franchise quarterback. I believe he will shut a lot of people up because they didn't understand what this kid is all about. And you guys can measure his height. You can measure how strong his arm is. You can measure all of that stuff. The thing that's inside the center of his chest is the one you can't measure. It's the one that has him coming back after injuring his hip in late November. He's ready for the season in September in the NFL. And he's getting slammed by Michael Brockers. That's who this guy is. And for the people that don't believe in him, I can't help you, man, if you haven't seen it. If you don't admire it, a lot of people would have quit already after that hip injury. They wouldn't want to come back after that hip injury. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter at this point. It's I think people need to look at him for what he is. He's a hell of a player, bro. He gets it. And I feel bad that people, the ones that are not believing in him, have quit on him so early after watching him do what he did in college, which is just not normal. And to me, it's I have a hard time understanding the people that don't believe in him. You know what I'm saying? And then the other thing is that they don't understand that what was around him was so bad. It's hard to succeed that way. And we have also this misconception that we think the quarterback carries everything. Meanwhile, for 17 years, we watched 13 carry everything, and you got nothing for it. Yeah, there were a lot of exciting wins. You went to the playoffs a few times, even got to the Super Bowl once, but it's really about winning it, man. That's where the legacy is built. And you build it by building a great team that helps your quarterback win. And I think now you've got a better team. He knows you have a better team. He knows you have a better coaching staff. And I think he can't, just like why he went to Alabama, because he knew it would be tough. He knew they would be talented, and he knew he would be put in a position to succeed at the SEC level. He didn't go to a lesser school or a lesser conference. He chose Alabama, and he chose the SEC. So if any of you think that he's not looking forward to this challenge, you're mistaken, man. If you think he's afraid of this challenge, I don't think you really have read this kid right. So good stuff by Tua on the fish tank with the guys. What else do we have here? You didn't get to watch the interview, did you? You said so. Tua plays 4 instruments. You guys know that? He plays piano. He plays guitar. He plays the ukulele, and he plays the bass guitar. He can't read any notes. All of it is self-taught and ear. Do you know how hard that is? Do you know how talented you must be to hear something and then find it on the notes and be able to play it? That's a gift, dude. When he said that, he was talking about it the whole family except for the dad. The dad's the only one that doesn't play any instruments. But he says everybody else plays instruments, and he's big on music and things like that. I thought that was really, really cool. And again, you look at that, you look at it and you say, okay, here's a kid that is self-taught in 4 different instruments. I just want you to keep thinking about all these things. He's not just athletic. He's not just smart. He's not just talented, but he has the kind of gifts that can adjust to different things. And that, I think that's why, one of the great facts that came out of the interview is he's had 6 offensive coordinators so far in his career. He has a winning record in the NFL and a national championship in college. Yet he's fought through all these injuries. You keep thinking this guy isn't the guy. You go ahead. You keep thinking that, because all I ever hear about is, well, he didn't succeed. He had, all these offensive coordinators. Well, this guy's had 6 offensive coordinators, and he's had bad coaching in the NFL, and he still finds a way to win more games than he loses. Still finds a way to throw more touchdowns than interceptions. Still finds a way to avoid a crap ton of sacks. I'm just saying, 6 offensive coordinators that man's had since college. That's rough, dude. Rough. Because he talks about how, it's a matter of adjusting to the terminology. You want a guy that can adjust? That's 6 offensive coordinators. I didn't realize that. That's like every year he's played football in college, in the NFL, the terminology changes every time. Every year he has to learn a new system. So think about all those other, by the way, did Justin Herbert have to learn a new system 6 straight years? No, he had one system for 4 and 1 for 2 so far. And he has no national championships. He hasn't won more than Tua and hasn't beaten Tua. And doesn't have a hip injury, a knuckle, rib injuries, all those other things that's happened to him too. Just saying. This is one tough hombre. Mentally, physically, all of that. There's a guy that can self-teach himself multiple instruments. Here's a guy that has to deal with crappy coaching. Here's a guy that has to deal with media fans against him. Here's a guy that has to deal with a new offensive coordinator every single year in his career. I mean, if you know all of this and you're still rooting against the kid and you still think he's not a winner and you still think he doesn't know how to figure stuff out, I can't wait for the day that he has the same offense and the same coordinator and the same people around him for 3 years. Oh my God. Can't wait for him to have it a second year.
I'm sure he's saying the same thing.
6 offensive coordinators, man. 6 offensive coordinators. How is it that you don't think he's the guy? How is it you don't want to give this kid a chance? How is it that you can't find it in your heart, if you're a Dolphins fan, how do you not root for this guy? It's pretty amazing, man. Bert says, good morning, Big O. I'm a big supporter of Tua. I'm left-handed as well. I think Tua is going to be the next great lefty QB in the NFL. I'm with you there. Imagine hating on Tua. Well, there's plenty of it, bro. Mims taking his visit to Miami. Mr. Spock, freaking good to have you back, says Greater Good. Eric says Tua became the first QB in NFL history to complete 68% of his passes, throw more TDs and interceptions behind the worst line in the league. Also, did it with no run game and limited pass catchers. Amen. Tua says it's just football. He ain't worried about it. Yeah, because he never makes mistakes. I mean, he never makes excuses ever. Guy doesn't point fingers, doesn't make excuses, doesn't do any of that. Brooklyn Rob says the hate for Tua will continue because, face it, negativity sells. Tevaga says, I'd like to move to Florida. My state sucks. Either that or my state needs a governor like DeSantis. What state are you in, Tevaga? Are you like in California or something? Because, man, I got to tell you, I feel bad for you people out on the West Coast. Ugh. California, Oregon, Seattle. God, you got horrible leadership. I don't agree with everything DeSantis does, but man, he's better than those clowns out there. Big O, I have a steak dinner wage with a coworker this season, but between Tua versus Watson, without the suspension, who do you believe will have a better stats this season? Probably Tua, because he'll play more games. That's why. Because Watson, I think, will end up serving a suspension. Probably be 6 to 8 games, so he's going to miss a nice chunk of the season. So maybe Tua. I would go with that. To me, it's not about that. It's really who goes farther in the season, not about the stats. I really don't care about the stats. I really care about getting to the playoffs and starting to make an impact in the playoffs. That's what it's all about for Cleveland, for Miami. That's what it is for those franchises. Those franchises have to learn to get back to the playoffs. Not about putting up stats, man. We had Marino here and he put up a ton of stats. What do we have to show for it? You know what I mean? We know Dan was great, but because you didn't give him the team, let's go build the team and let's watch him go deep into the playoffs. That'll be fun. Peyton Manning couldn't throw farther than 10 yards a couple of years ago. They won a Super Bowl, dude. Not about stats. It's about winning the damn game. And that's what I want to see from our Dolphins. Big O, that's impressive. I play guitar, and to play 4 instruments self-taught, no note reading or tabs is mind-blowing. Shows you, again, Tua is a talented dude, bro. Robin G says, act like you've been there. Love it. Yes, that was That was it his high school coach or his dad? One of the two. He was telling the story of, act like you've been there, and that's what he does every day. He doesn't act like Johnny Manziel, and he doesn't act like Baker Mayfield, and he doesn't do stupid things like Cam Newton, and he just doesn't act like a horse's ass. He acts like a professional the entire time. Yeah. Big O, people are prisoners of the moment. Don't take into consideration the whole picture. Tua has been an elite passer and will take a huge step forward now that we have the skill around him. Jay, you and I know that, but it's hilarious how other people have not figured that out. They just think he sucks, and they don't believe that. They don't understand that what's wrong is not him, it's what's around him. And that's the problem. And this year, I hope that will change. Still better than way better than California's governor. Way better. I mean, dude, there's several trees out here. They're all better than California's governor. Okay? That guy's a clown. Let's see what else. If Tua can complete 68% of his passes and elude sacks behind a line that only gives him 2.3 seconds, imagine what he can do with 3 seconds. He doesn't have 2.3 seconds. I'm sorry. I watched Tua get pressured while he's handing off. The hell is that, dude? I've watched defenders like right on his hip as he's handing off to the running back. You're not supposed to be pressured on running plays, dude. Your linebackers are still supposed to be on the other side of the line. Your D linemen are still supposed to be on the other side of the line. Your linemen are supposed to be in front of the line there while you're handing off, because that's how you run the ball. I mean, I've never seen that in my life. Big O, good morning from sunny New England. I hope Tua slides more when he runs. Sometimes he takes unnecessary hits. Well, he does. He most of the time he slides or runs out of bounds. You're talking about the time he took on a hit. He took on the tackler, and he actually put him on his ass. But yeah, you're right. He's done it a couple times that you don't want him to do it at all. I don't want any quarterback really taking any kind of contact whatsoever. Go out of bounds. Not a problem. Learn from Ted Ginn. You know who was great at that? Marvin Harrison. People go back and watch Marvin Harrison's highlights and all of that. Quick to catch, and he sees he was about to get hit. The guy would slide down. The guy would run out of bounds. The guy was a genius at that. Yeah, he did not want to take any hits whatsoever, and that's why he had a Hall of Fame career. Okay? Now, don't try to run into Marvin Harrison on the street. That's not going to go down very well. That guy usually is packing heat, and he's had some of those gun issues at times. You know what I'm saying? So off the field's a whole different ballgame with Marvin Harrison when it comes to contact. Robin G says, name me one QB who took his team to the Super Bowl with a crappy team around him. I'll wait. Nobody. Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. But people make it sound like the QB alone carries everybody. And that Joe Montana didn't have an all-pro line and didn't have a great defense, and that all these guys, that whether it's Tom Brady, he didn't carry it by himself. He had a team around him. He had a great coaching staff. Defenses. You never do it alone, man. We are coming to you live from the beautiful KSDT CPA offices here in Dadeland. It is April 15th. Tax time, baby. Has been extended till Monday. But we do want to remind you, whether, if you're already done it, that's fine. If you haven't, you can call the great folks here at KSDT. And if you want to start planning for your personal, for your home, or for your business taxes for next year, and you want to now move over to a company that can take care of you, two great offices, one here in Dadeland, one in West End, a ton of employees, about over 150 employees and 12 partners here. Great organization, great atmosphere, and they will work with you. Go to the
website, ksdtcpa.com. Check it out for yourself. And trust me, they will definitely take care of you for this and every other tax season. Ray Grullon, thank you for a little love on the super chat. He says, howdy-o. Are you in Acura next week? I have a Freddie Mercury Funko doll to give you. I live 5 minutes away. By the way, Flo, you blow. Yes. Yeah, next week we're at Acura, right? Yeah, we are. Yeah, next week we're at Acura on Friday. So, yes, come on over, Gray. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. You know what I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for the U2 Funkos to come out because I got to get me a Bono and an Edge, but it hasn't. They haven't come out yet, the Funko Pops yet.
We want information.
Who are you?
I'm a go-getter.
Who are you?
Dumbass material all the way.
I am not.
Dumbass.
I am
Super chat.
There you go. A little super chat. Love it. Thank you, Ray. Appreciate it. And that's memory of Bill right there. Bill's memory lives on. He created the super chat right there. God bless you, Bill. Rest in peace, my brother. We miss you. All right, let's get ready for hour number 2. Manny Navarro and our Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes report. That's next.
When you're ready to purchase a new home loan or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than a roof above the people you love. Call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411 and ask to speak to Tommy, the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs, led by their highly crafted, skilled, and professional roof mechanics. All of their previous customers have an opportunity to enter their bi-weekly drawings to receive free an exterior impact metal door. Please call for more details. That's Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411. Trust Tommy to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family. The Big O Radio Show is looking for an experienced salesperson in the radio or TV business. The candidate must have at least 5 years of sales experience in the broadcast business over the last 10 years. Please email your phone number and resume to BigORadioShow@yahoo.com. That's BigORadioShow@yahoo.com. Looking for an aggressive person who can help our platform expand into many avenues in our business. Reach out if you are the person that's able to make the difference.
you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to. And that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro. Exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
All right, here we go. Hour number 2. We're ready to rock and roll. Coming to you live from the beautiful KSDT CPA offices here in Doral, which, as you can see back there, man, that's a beautiful, beautiful backdrop there. And there he is, the man, the myth, the legend that is Manny Navarro. Manny, how you feeling, baby?
Feeling great. Oh, how are you doing?
Very good. I'm here at KSDT in Dadeland. Where are you? You're home?
I'm at home right now. Yeah, I got a lunch at about 12:15, 12:30 over there in Doral, actually, meeting one of my childhood friends who's visiting here from California. So we're going to have a little lunch and then back to work, brother. You know how it is. Spring game tomorrow.
That's right. But before we get to that, we do have some visitors, right? Are there some visitors coming into Coral Gables?
Well, I mean, there's probably 10 or 15 of the elite kids from all over the place coming to watch the spring game tomorrow. And then Miami, of course, is working that transfer portal, hoping that Amarius Mims shows up today as scheduled. He's the 5-star offensive tackle who left Georgia, visiting Tallahassee right now up at Florida State. The feeling coming out of Florida State, and I don't, I haven't spoken to anybody myself, but the reports coming out of the Seminoles writers is that Mims is not going to end up coming to Miami, and he's just going to sign with Florida State and stay up there, which in a lot of ways, though, going into this entire situation makes the most sense because, A, Florida State's offensive line is horrendous. They need anybody right now at offensive tackle, so the opportunity for this kid to come in and play right away and be an important part for them it makes more sense than coming here to Miami where he'll have some competition. He left Georgia because he wasn't going to be able to play offensive tackle. And I'd say the other aspect is, he's from Georgia. Tallahassee's a lot closer to Georgia and his family than it is Miami. So if the Hurricanes don't end up with him, yeah, shucks, wish you could have gotten a kid like that, but it's also not devastating. I don't think Miami's offensive line is in a precarious position or as a precarious position as Florida State's. They really need that kid up there. So from the get-go, I thought, they were the favorites in my mind. At this point, if he comes to Miami, which Miami still hopes he comes down here for a visit, I checked in yesterday with that topic. If he comes in, then great. If he doesn't come, you got to beat him on Saturday, I guess.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. And who else is? What other big names are coming to see the scrimmage?
Well, you have Anthony Hill. He's a kid whose father grew up in Marathon. He's a 5-star linebacker out of Texas. He is, I guess, the premier of all the kids. You have a lot of local kids as well. Jalen Brown, who's a 5-star receiver out of Miami Gulliver Prep, one of the fastest receivers in the country. I mean, there's a long list of kids. Oh, I mean, tomorrow when we get there, we'll be taking head counts and seeing all the kids that are there. But just know that Mario's done a phenomenal job all spring. I mean, every practice there's been kids on campus from everywhere, Texas, California. I mean, just everywhere they've been coming down to watch practices, and his staff has done a great job getting the kids there because so much of it really, is just getting them in the door, getting them here to watch a practice, to see the way that they sort of operate is so pivotal if you're really going to have a chance to sign that kid. And we know, look, you can commit now. This thing doesn't become reality till December. So it's a long chase. You get them in the door. You get them to come back over the summer for, your Legends camp. You get them to come on an official visit at some point, and then they make their decisions, and then you hope that they actually sign the piece of paper in December.
Yeah, I hope so, man. That's obviously some of these players look like they're guys that you want to keep here, and they've got the potential to obviously lift this program. I'm just wondering what's the buzz inside the building from some of the coaches when they hear some of the other programs around the country kind of complain about what's going on with the NILs right now.
Well, I mean, listen, we're still in an area where I don't think there's enough regulation on it. There's not
Right.
enough sort of rules in place. So it's kind of a wild west. And if you have a guy like John Ruiz who can sign, more than half of your scholarship players to NIL deals, and pay them well, that's a huge advantage for Miami. And you got to keep playing that card as best you can. That doesn't mean, like you said, there aren't haters out there, right? There aren't people coming after you. And, there's one situation in particular with this West Virginia kid who Miami is after, the defensive lineman, Akeem Mesidor, who at last check yesterday, when I asked somebody in Miami's office, the feeling was that, this is a kid that they're going to end up getting. And, I think there's some permutations of, what's the word I'm looking for? Tampering. The people have been saying that, Miami was reaching out to this kid before, and that's a serious, violation. It's a level 2 violation that would carry some weight. But I think at this point, I think Miami's ready to take the kid. It's hard. It's something hard to prove, I guess, if you're West Virginia or some other program. In the end, though, that's the area. I've mentioned that word tampering to you, I think, before in the past. That's the next frontier besides NIL, is when does schools start turning each other in for early contact in terms of recruiting kids to their programs. That's going to become an issue here, I think, in college football in the next year.
That's it's interesting. All right, so we got the spring game tomorrow. Obviously, there's a buzz, dude, because it's sold out. Which I think that's the only game that's going to sell out this year at Dry Pink Stadium.
Yeah, they're having a little problem winning games over there, aren't they?
Yeah. Although that was a really nice performance against New England. We'll see if that was an aberration or not on Saturday night in Seattle. We'll see if the youngins can play like they play, because they look good on Saturday. That was fun, actually, to watch. But, they haven't been a good team. But what a buzz, dude. I mean,
yeah. Well,
to sell that place out, that's 19,000 there, man. That's pretty cool.
Well, we'll see. Free tickets. Nobody really paid anything to go out there. They are selling more season tickets. I will say that. That's been reported. I think Barry Jackson, the Herald, reported that that more season ticket sales are going through. I think tomorrow's going to be a fun day for a lot of people because they want to see Mario. Think about it.
Right.
I mean, he hasn't really been out anywhere publicly in the sense that fans have been able to cheer him and so forth. So tomorrow's that sort of first opportunity to be around Mario and what he's brought in from a coaching perspective. So there's a lot of excitement. I think people will be tailgating out there, etc. Should be interesting afternoon. But I think from a football perspective, very vanilla. Okay, don't expect what was it, a double reverse flea flicker that they ran against Pittsburgh. We're not going to see any of that stuff. But we'll see a lot of base tackling, and you'll see a lot of Tyler Van Dyke throwing the ball deep down the field and connecting with his receivers, and you probably see a better running game. So there'll be a lot to watch tomorrow. Me personally, man, like. The tackling is the most important thing for me. I want to see guys wrap up tomorrow. That I know it seems stupid and simple, but blocking and tackling, just like Mario said yesterday in his press conference after practice, blocking and tackling, man. Let's see it done the right way.
Dude, there's nothing stupid about that or silly or ridiculous or anything about that. Why? This team hasn't been fundamentally sound in years, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know anything about just sports in general, there has to be a level of fundamentals to it, dude. You have to have a proper stance in the batter's box. You've got to be fundamentally sound how you're going to block somebody or how you're going to cover somebody on a basketball court. There is a fundamental approach to anything and everything that you do in sports. And unfortunately, the Canes haven't been coached well. And basically, that's what you're saying. You haven't seen a team. You have not covered a team lately on the field that is coached well. And I think that's basically what you're saying. I'd like to see a team that isn't committing stupid penalties, that knows how to actually block somebody, that knows how to open up a hole, that isn't doing, that isn't celebrating on the sidelines when things are going bad. I get what you're saying, dude. There's not one bit of that doesn't make any sense. It all makes sense.
Oh yeah, I just think from a fan perspective, when you say block and tackle, they kind of roll their eyes, right? They kind of like, oh, we should be able to do that, but you take it for granted when they don't do it right. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, so what are we looking for? If we're Canes fans, all right, now we're going to sit in Manny Navarro's eyes. Give me
Mm-hmm.
3 things that Manny Navarro is focused in on, and he thinks these are important things outside of course, tackling.
Mm-hmm.
But other things that you're talking about right now that you think are going to be talking points and things you're going to end up writing about
Sure.
in a couple days.
Well, number one, how did the receivers look? In terms of their chemistry with Tyler Van Dyke. You got to replace Charleston Rambo and Mike Harley. You don't have Will Mallory out there. Which of these young receivers goes out there and makes the tough catches? Charleston Rambo made a lot of tough catches last year, where he was getting hit and manhandled. Who's the guy? Is it Xavier Restrepo? Is it Jacoby George? We won't have the answer to the fall, but I want to see how these guys look, because seeing them in 11-11 for 15 minutes or 10 minutes, you're not getting enough picture of that. You want to see what happens when the drive stalls, when they need a third down, when there's situational type football. You want to see who kind of rises to the top and makes the play. Last year, if you remember the spring game, Charleston Rambo I think had a stretch where he caught 4 or 5 passes in a row, and we were all like, "Whoa!" Right? Remember that last year in the spring game?
Yeah.
So I want to see if anybody. Maybe it's Jacoby George or Xavier Restrepo, but I want to see which one of those guys sort of has maybe one of those moments where we're blown away by how good they are catching the football. They're going to need that if this offense is going to score a lot of points. Then I want to look at some of the freshmen. I want to see Wesley Basaint, Cyrus Moss, 2 of those guys, young guys on defense. They're going to be a big part of the future. I want to see how they look. Are they ready to contribute? Is Jaleel Skinner at tight end really ready to contribute and be a real part of the rotation? You get these guys in early. Obviously a guy like Ja'Cory Brown, the quarterback, won't play because he's got Jake Garcia and Tyler Van Dyke ahead of him. But how does he look? Does he look like he's ready in a year from now to be a guy who could compete for the starting job? So those kind of questions with the youth, the new arrivals, a lot of the transfers, unfortunately, for whatever reason, surgery, different issues that they've been dealing with. But I want to see how some of the transfers look, as well. So the newcomers, transfers, etc. And then I'd say the last thing, the pass rush. Last year Miami wasn't very good at getting after the quarterback, not as good as they were before when they had Gregory Rousseau and Jalen Phillips. We've heard a lot about Jafari Harvey. I want to see him get to the quarterback. I want to see it in a game type setting. Not just scrimmage reports that he's doing great. I want to see, do they have that lead guy now who can be the pass rusher? Those three things from a personnel perspective, I guess I'll be looking at.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. What are you working on? Anything else on The Athletic so folks can check it out?
Yeah, well, these Wayward program series, there's been some good ones. Virginia Tech one just came out. UCLA, mine is USF is going to be sometime next week. I think the 19th is when ours comes out. Chris Vanini and I worked on that together. So that'll be coming out soon. And then, I'll be at the game tomorrow. I'll be sharing my thoughts. I'll come out with, my own list of re-ranking the top 50 players. I did that before in the spring ever got started, before the workouts even got started. I'll re-rank the players. That'll be coming out sometime next week. And, just typical coverage, man, at The Athletic. A lot of good reads that are on there, man. Again, I keep telling people, don't sign up just for the Hurricanes coverage. If you love college football, you want to know about, the competition, how everybody else is doing as well. $1 a month right now to sign up and read all those great stories. You have a lot of great writers there. So I'll have my Cane stuff and other stuff, recruiting stuff, and transfer, all that kind of stuff will be going on there as the news breaks. But if you really want to get into college football, it's a great deal.
By the way, I'll wrap it up with this. No matter what happens for the rest of this offseason, outside, of course, of major injuries, there's no reason Miami should not be in the ACC championship game, right? I mean, there's no reason not to win the Coastal, right?
I think the only reason would be if Pittsburgh's quarterback, whoever that ends up being, the starting quarterback, plays as well as the guy did last year. And I think if he does,
But that shouldn't be the case either.
That shouldn't be the case either. But I'm just telling you that is there one team that can beat Miami in the Coastal this year? Yes, it's Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, it was a hell of a game last year. Miami won up there. I mean, I think that coaching staff does a great job. They're the only team I think in the Coastal Division that can beat Miami. Now, we'll see what happens. That's the last game of the regular season. But my expectation is Miami will be in the ACC championship game because they have Pittsburgh at home. They have the veteran quarterback. They have they're going to be better on the offensive line. They should be better at tackling. I think they should win the division and probably play Clemson.
I like Mario, and I think he's going to do good things here, but the pressure starts right away. Mario, you got to be in the ACC championship game. No, I'm not asking you to win the ACC, which I think you can also do that, by the way, but no less than winning the Coastal and being in the conference game. I
agree.
Enough is enough already. The line in the sand has to be drawn already. You've got to be. You're the kind of program that you need to be in the championship game on a consistent basis, and it has to start with this year. So let's hope they can get it done. Follow him on Twitter. You see it right there, Manny_Navarro. And again, subscribe to The Athletic and get it for like $1 a month right now, which is a freaking joke to get the local and national coverage and international coverage too, with a little football mixed in there. Manny, as always, thank you, my brother. Enjoy the scrimmage. Enjoy the weekend. We'll catch up on Tuesday.
All right, brother. Take care. See you.
Got it. There you go. Manny Navarro and our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CFs, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
We back. By the way, got to give some folks some love. They made a donation on Cash App and Venmo. First, William Bailey. Thank you always. A little Cash App. He says, can't always donate, but love what you and Sean do. Thank you, sir. There you go. And then Ho Yoon also makes a donation on Venmo. Thank you, sir. What? Well, go ahead. What? Super chat.
No way.
Yes way. No way. Yes way.
They were fantastic.
Super chat. There you go. So thank you all. As always, Cash Big O Show. You can always make that donation there at Cash Big O Show to the program. Always appreciate all of you out there. Thank you. Good stuff as always by Manny. Make sure you follow and support Manny Navarro. Omar Kelly will be joining us in about 7 minutes. He'll join us at the bottom of the hour. You know, sometimes sports and business, you know, when they collide, they always bring us some interesting stuff. And on our program, when sports and business collide, that's when you have the KSDT Sports Business Report. You know, I am, of course, a big crypto guy, as most of you all know, and I am a huge believer, and we've talked about this many, many times. It will take over. It will be a part of our everyday lives, the way you bank, the way you live, the way you party. You will be paying through digital currency. It was nice to see Janet Yellen finally stop spreading FUD And she finally, did you see her press conference 2 days ago? I mean, she kissed crypto's ass like it was going out of style, because for a while now, she's been spreading. For those of you that don't know what FUD is, it's fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And the government has been doing plenty of this. And of course, I told you many, 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 many times that FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried is the biggest donor of the Biden, what's it called, presidential campaign. So he's going to be pro crypto. And a lot of you have thought that, this is, crypto's just a fad. It's this, that. It's growing every single day. It's exploding. It's not just Bitcoin. It'll be Ethereum. It'll be Cardano. It'll be Polkadot. So many things. Avalanche. You're gonna be using all kinds of different crypto for all kinds of different things that you're going to do in your lives. Well, guess what? The Cowboys now have signed London-based crypto company blockchain.com to an expansive sponsorship 1 month after the NFL dropped its barriers in the category. Blockchain.com, which says it raised its capital last month to $14 billion valuation, will become the exclusive digital asset partner of the team. The company provides various cryptocurrency services, including wallets, an exchange, search tools, and institutional market business. The deal will be unveiled by Cowboys owner Jerry Jones at the Star in Frisco. And the statement, Jones said, blockchain.com is bringing Wall Street to Main Street by making digital assets available to anyone, anywhere in the world. That's a touchdown for our millions of global fans. The company will get a space at the AT&T Stadium, formerly held by Lincoln Motor Company, the rights to social media content, digital content, LED signage, and tunnel coverage signage in the corners of the field, and extensive advertising across TV, radio, and digital. It's the first deal in traditional sports for blockchain.com. Through the company has marketed in esports before, said CEO and founder Peter Smith. So there you go. All right. So, by the way, blockchain.com is going to create ways for fans to quickly access Cowboy content and their blockchain.com wallet. According to a statement, blockchain.com says it has 80 million customers in more than 200 countries. And that's the thing that this is going to also do. It's going to make the world smaller. Because when El Salvador and Argentina and Brazil and Colombia are all using Bitcoin as their currency, you just made the world smaller. And Ukraine, I would imagine, who has had their entire economy devastated, once it starts to rebuild, guess what its currency is going to be? Bitcoin. All right. Now, eventually people will get smart around the world and won't use Bitcoin as currency because that's not very smart. You don't use ascending assets as something that you purchase. Okay. But eventually people will figure it out and they'll use Litecoin and they'll use Zcash and they'll use Monero and they'll use all kinds of different coin services to make purchases. But we've got to get to the point where people are accepting multiple coins. And that's the difference. First, we've got to get to the point where they're at least accepting, Bitcoin and an Ethereum. And then you start to get to some of the other things there, that you need in order to make transactions. That, my friends, is your KSDT Sports Business Report.
This has been the KSDT Sports Business Report. KSDT CPA is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax and accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit online at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
And folks, don't forget also, EJD Construction is a proud sponsor of our program. And listen, they're going to rebuild the wall in our house. Obviously, they've been a proud sponsor of our program for several years now, and they're great people. And one of the things we're going to do now is we're starting to create a little bit more of an oasis in my house. So I want to build some stuff. We're going to maybe put a little basketball court in the house. We're going to start doing some things. So a lot of you out there want to do some of these things where you want to build an all-out kitchen in the backyard where you're going to do some more cooking. You want to put a pool. You want to put all kinds of different things, a hut so you can hang out. Or maybe you want to build an addition to your home so you can build a family room, an arcade room, or maybe the family's growing, or you're consolidating and somebody's moving back and you got to expand the home. Call EJD Construction for all of your custom home needs. They can build it all, from modernizing that kitchen to expanding the home to making some kind of an oasis in your backyard, whether you want to make he actually, the other day, one of our listeners, because they heard the idea here, actually, because it's something that he's been doing already, but I talked about it and one of our listeners did it. They built a movie theater in their backyard. And so that's kind of cool, where they hang out and they watch movies there now in their backyard. A lot of people are doing it, man. The streets are not as safe as they used to be. So a lot of people are doing more things at home. And so they're building more things at home. And EJD Construction is the way to help you. 305-433-4843, fully insured, liability and all. Please, folks, when you hire somebody, don't hire Pepe from the corner, and don't hire Al in Homestead or John in Pompano Beach who stops by, Home Depot to pick up 3 dudes and then goes to your house and they're not insured. And then all of a sudden they're suing your ass because they fell there. So make sure whoever you hire, like EJD Construction, is fully insured, because that is something that homeowners are dealing with now. They are hiring people that are not insured and they're cutting corners. And when those people get injured in your home, it's going to end up costing you a lot of money in the long run. So please be careful. Hire responsible people like EJDconstruction.com. Call Eric. They are fully insured. That is very important in today's world. Don't just hire anybody. Hire EJDconstruction.com. All right. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? Omar sent him he's on Cuban time now. He's not even Cuban, and he's he's not allowed to do this stuff. He's not Cuban. Not allowed, bro. I mean, that's
Going at you, changing discussions, and now he thinks he can do this.
Yeah, no, that's just wrong. It's just what's going on there, bro. So we're contacting
that podcast life.
Yeah, that's it. It's that digital life. You know what I'm saying? So we are reaching out to Omar Kelly, and he will hopefully be with us any second now. Ray says, very true, 100%. Oh, okay, you talk about the greater good there. Big O, have you given your thoughts yet on Elon Musk possibly buying Twitter and what that may mean for crypto? It doesn't do anything for crypto, Cidola. Nothing whatsoever. Elon Musk has his moments where he'll move something, and especially Doge, but he's not going to carry crypto in the end. That has nothing to do with it. That's all. So I don't know. I don't think, by the way, somebody ended up buying a bigger piece of Twitter, and they now own 10 point something percent of Twitter. So they're actually the bigger owners of Twitter now over Elon. And they rejected Elon's bid, if I'm correct. I think so. I think they rejected it. And I think they did it because they have, by the way, at the moment, the price he offered was at $55 a share, and it's at 30 something now. Twitter was at 70 something. So, Bitcoin was at 67, 68 or whatever. Tesla stock is down. Amazon stock is down. Every stock is down from where its original peak, including Twitter. So, he's going to have to sell Tesla shares in order to make this purchase. But I don't think BlackRock is the one that, by the way, purchased 10 point something percent of Twitter now. So they own a bigger piece of Twitter than Elon does now. But I think they rejected it because I think they're afraid of what Elon's going to do to Twitter. And so that's why, hey, not to get too political on this, because I know some of you get all butthurt if I talk about one side or the other. But I know some of you have brought up the Trump thing, that if he wants to free up Twitter and then he brings Trump back and all that, Elon has to be careful on his own with all of that. Because if he's not a Trump guy, but if he does that and then he pisses off certain people, he will also hurt his business too at the same time, because the anti-Trump people may be the people that buy your Teslas. I'm just saying, be careful. That's something that could backfire on him. For the people that were talking about that could actually backfire on him. Tesla stock already went down. Did you notice that? After this whole mess, Tesla and Twitter stock went down. I haven't looked at it today. I don't know if did it bounce back today? It didn't, right? Yeah. So be very careful. You know what I'm saying? That's he's got to tread very lightly how he does some of this stuff. He's super smart and makes a lot of money and all that stuff, but because remember they booted Trump, right? So a lot of people thought that, well, if he buys it, then he brings Trump back because he wants to open it up and give free speech and all of that. But then his own people, that may not be Trump people, may not be Tesla people anymore. You know what I mean? But then again, I don't know. Maybe you'll get the Trump people to buy Teslas. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe he makes up for it that way, right? It's like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was like, no, I'm not talking politics, bro. Republicans buy shoes too. So where's the Cuban man with the dreads? He's there? He's ready to go? Okay, all right. So the Cuban man with the dreads, Omar Kelly, is next.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Big O Radio Show is home for the hardcore Dolphins fan. That's why we give you Omar Kelly twice a week. Buckle up. It's time for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Report, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show.
Cuban on a Friday, Omar Kelly. Yeah, baby. How you doing, Omar? You feeling good?
Yeah, I'm all right.
You all right? You feeling good? Family, everybody recovered already? Is the COVID out of the home already?
Yeah, I'm having a bout right now with a cold, but it's not COVID. I took a test yesterday, so it's not COVID, thank God. But
okay.
I would hate to catch COVID after just catching COVID.
So you just have lingering effects, is what you're saying?
No, it wasn't even lingering effects. I was perfectly healthy, and then all of a sudden I caught a cold yesterday. Had like 102-degree fever.
Right. Okay.
I don't even know what that is.
Okay, but you're all right now? You're no fever now?
Nah, I'm probably still a little bit feverish.
Okay.
Muscle aches.
Okay.
It is what it is.
So let me ask you: did you watch the interview on the fish tank with your boy Tua?
I saw some of it. I didn't finish it. It kind of bored me.
Did you? There were a couple of nuggets in that thing. And by the way, I did watch the whole thing of I Am Athlete. We'll get into that in a little bit. You also had a couple of nuggets on that one too that I liked. But first of all, I didn't realize this until they brought it up with Tua yesterday. He's had 6 offensive coordinators in 6 years.
Yeah. I don't.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's pretty awesome. Okay, that's pretty awesome because you think about it. I talked about this before you came on. He's won a national championship during that time. He wins more than he loses in the NFL. He throws more touchdowns than interceptions in the NFL. and yet it's been kind of disastrous for him that he has to learn a new system and a new what's that called, terminology every year, although he must be really good at it now. The other thing I learned, and you know why he might be so good at this, Omar? He plays 4 instruments: piano, guitar, ukulele, and bass, all self-taught. None of it on notes. He plays all by ear. So I'm thinking,
so fascinated by that.
Well, that's why he can learn 6 offenses in 6 years, dude.
I'm fascinated by his musical ability.
Not 6 offenses in 6 years. Your offense, only the musical part.
No,
you can't put both together, right?
That's the nature of their position. There's so many guys who played in 6 different offenses. I've heard that story about a dozen times already, in terms of guys who've had to learn new offenses. I forget which one was it. It might have been Tannehill.
But we're actually talking about people that actually had success while doing it. Let's not go apples and oranges now. Okay, let's not compare an elephant to a mosquito. You know what I'm saying?
Has he really had success though?
It's called the national championship.
No, I'm talking about as an NFL quarterback.
Well, when you win more than you lose, when you have winning seasons and not losing seasons, doesn't sound like a failure to me, right? I don't call him a failure. I don't think he's a failure. I think everything around him has been a failure, but considering the crap around him, I think he's done a pretty damn good job overall. I mean, think about it, dude. He played behind the worst line, and he was one of the least sacked quarterbacks in the NFL. That's adjusting to chaos.
He's very good at that.
Yeah, well, the other guy that we had here led the league in sacks with a great line and running game. Can you imagine if he was here? So, you know what I'm saying?
He only had a running game for 1 season.
No. Donta Foreman is better than anything the Miami Dolphins have had here.
I'm talking about when he was here. No,
I'm talking about Tannehill. He led the league in sacks last year with 2 running backs and an offensive line. Because when Derrick Henry went down, Foreman played in and played. He was like a Henry Jr. He wasn't Derrick Henry, but he was pretty damn good.
I thought Burrow led the league in sacks last year.
No, actually, I think Tannehill led the league in sacks last year. If not, he's number 2. Whatever, it's 1 or 2, whatever, something like that. But yeah, and this kid was. But bottom line, forget about that. My point is, he has overcome a lot of shit while he's here, and I'm impressed with that. And 6 offensive coordinators in 6 years, Omar, dude.
That has nothing to do with what he's going through now.
That's a hurdle that you have to overcome. A lot of people don't do that and succeed.
It's a common story for quarterbacks.
I'm sorry. Who has had 6 offensive coordinators from college to the beginning of his NFL career, and they have a national title and a winning record in the NFL? Please explain that one to me. How many of those exist?
I just don't think it's this major accomplishment that you think it is. It's very common. It's very common.
Yeah, you can't name one person.
No, I mean, Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts played in Alabama in the same system.
Won a national championship. Played at Oklahoma. Went to the Eagles. I'm sure he's had 6 offensive coordinators.
No, he hasn't.
And he went to the playoffs.
He's played in the same offense the last 2 years, right?
No,
hasn't it been the same?
Coach got fired.
Oh no, that's right. It's a new coach this past year. That's right. He did have a new coach this year.
So last year, it's. I mean, ultimately, to me, I don't really care anything about that, because that's just the nature of football these days, where you're changing your offensive coordinator, you're changing your play caller
over the years. I've always heard it as an excuse for the players that struggled. That was the excuse for Ryan.
I've never let it be used as an excuse.
It was the excuse for Ryan. It was the excuse for Ryan here.
Not for me.
Well,
Like I've never
plenty of people used it for other guys too, not just Ryan. Other guys too. They've always used that excuse.
I've never looked at it as, once you get to a certain point as a professional, it's all the same thing. It's just called stuff. It's called different things. So I remember listening to Ryan Fitzpatrick explain how he processes offenses. He processes it basically this, like learning a new language. It's the same thing that he's run. It's just called different things.
Right.
And you just have to translate into your mind what that used to be called is now this.
Right.
And it's the same thing with Tua. I'm 6 offensive coordinators. I don't care.
Right.
I really don't care.
Yeah.
I think
one guy, Reggie D, goes, "Hey, Jalen Hurts made the playoffs." yeah. Well, the Dolphins easily make the playoffs in that division too, my brother.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I mean, I gotta teach Reggie D a little bit of football there, and maybe anybody else out there, because if you think the NFC East is better than the AFC East, I can't help you, bro. You know what I mean? I can't help you at all. So the Dolphins make the playoffs if they're in the NFC East. The last
I don't think the Dolphins got that Dallas smoke. I disagree with you. I don't think this is.
I must have missed it, bro. What has Dallas ever accomplished?
Nothing, but they're a better team.
You're going back to the night. They're not a better team. They don't perform anywhere, dude. They're not a better team.
Bro, you got to make the playoffs. You got to make the playoffs before you could actually pretend like you're in a league with teams that actually are good.
Dude, Washington made the playoffs in that.
Oh
division. Well, it's that division. The Dolphins would beat the Cowboys.
Washington and the Eagles and Dallas. That's what, 3 teams? No.
Dallas is a bunch of choking dogs, dude. You fall
into the playoffs.
It's because it's a crappy division. It's a garbage division, dude. The Cowboys, the Eagles, the Redskins, they're all garbage.
It's a garbage division.
They're garbage.
Let me. I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Garbage. They're all
AFC East is a garbage division.
What are you talking about, bro? The Bills are way better than anything that they have there. They don't have to. Don't have
the Bills, and that's it.
Well, no, the Patriots and the Dolphins are just as good as anybody in the NFC East.
The Patriots are not the Patriots. Come on, bro.
The NFC East is garbage. They don't beat anybody.
The AFC East is garbage.
But the AFC East is the one that actually produces teams that go to the AFC Championship games.
Oh my God!
And they're actually what you're going to tell me that the last few years that the Patriots and the Bills
stop riding the Patriots' great years, dynasties, and right now the AFC East is garbage.
Right now the Bills are way better than anything that the NFC East has.
Bro. You're right.
Okay,
you're right. So that's all the NFC East has to offer.
And all the NFC East has is teams that might be able to compete with
every team in the NFC East would smoke every team in the AFC East except for the Bills.
You're so full of shit. Your eyes are brown,
bro.
You're so full of shit. Your eyes are brown.
Washington would pound the shit out of Miami.
I can tell you really don't watch the league, bro. I can really tell you watch the Dolphins.
Miami is not in Dallas's league.
The Dallas Cowboys do nothing every year, my brother.
In the playoffs.
No, they do nothing.
Playoffs.
They choke every moment that they get, my man. Every single moment that they get, they are choking ass dogs, bro. And they play in a crappy division. That division, there's nobody there. Those teams are good enough to compete with the Dolphins every week. The Dolphins can beat them like they can beat the Dolphins.
Bro, you act like the AFC East is a good division.
It is a good division.
It's the worst division in the AFC.
No, it's not.
What's worse?
The North is pretty bad, right?
Tennessee.
Pittsburgh.
The North?
Yeah, Pittsburgh is kind of crappy, right? The Browns.
Pittsburgh hasn't had a losing season in a decade.
The Browns, now that they have Deshaun Watson, maybe now they might be able to.
Pittsburgh hasn't had a losing season in a decade, and you want to be disrespectful?
What's Pittsburgh done the last couple of years, bro? Pittsburgh.
It doesn't matter. Have
years.
they had a losing season?
You're talking about 4 years ago, 5 years
A
ago.
decade.
No,
A decade.
The last couple of years, Pittsburgh is nothing anymore. They're not much anymore.
Because they had an old ass quarterback.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And they still don't have a quarterback right now.
I bet you they still have a winning season.
Maybe they get to 500. Yeah.
Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season.
I know, but they're not that good. They're not that anything special. You know what I mean?
Oh well, neither are the Patriots. People want to pretend like they're elite.
No, they're not elite. They're not elite. They're solid. They're just they're like those teams in the NFC East. They're like 8-9 win teams.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they are. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The NFC East has nothing special about it. They're just Jags, just like Miami and New England. They're right in the middle. They're not good, but the Bills make them elite. There's nothing elite in the NFC East at all. At all.
It's all the same thing. It's all. I think Dallas is still the cream of the crop in that division, and they poop it.
There's no cream there. There's no cream there. There's no Rams there. There's nothing there. There's no Rams there.
The Rams just became the Rams.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. But nobody's winning anything in the NFC East right now. In the last couple of years, those teams have been middling teams like the Dolphins. Maybe 8-9 win, 10 win teams. They're not really playoff impactful teams.
It's a lot of teams in that division.
Pittsburgh has fallen into that rut too now. They're not a playoff impactful team anymore.
Oh well,
unfortunately, because they don't have the QB anymore.
There were like 6 playoff impactful teams in the league.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. There's not a lot of them, and the Bills happen to be one of them.
Yeah, they are. Bills.
So that's why I tell you that's a better division than the NFC East, because the NFC East doesn't have any big teams. At least the North has Cincinnati. That's definitely an elite team right now. That they got to the pinnacle right now.
Cincinnati, Baltimore. Baltimore's never having a losing season.
Baltimore doesn't do anything with Lamar Jackson in the playoffs, my man.
Oh my God, Cincinnati, Baltimore.
Hey, Lamar Jackson needs depends in the playoffs because all he does is wet himself in the playoffs, dude.
All right,
there's nothing.
At least he can get there.
Okay, but that's what I'm telling you. That's all they are. That's what they can get because they have a remedial quarterback. They can't pass. What can I tell you? I get it. They're good. They're good enough team to get to the playoffs, but that's about it.
That's the starting point. That's the starting block.
Okay. All right, but I mean, again,
Dolphins can't sniff it.
I know, and the only reason somebody sniffs it in the NFC East is because somebody has to win that division. That's the difference right there. I mean, when the end of the season, how many teams had double-digit wins in the NFC East? Yeah, in the NFC East, how many had double-digit wins?
Probably only Cowboys.
Right. And that's your elite team, the Cowboys.
Cowboys are a good team. People don't put the respect on Jerry Jones that they deserve.
They shouldn't put any respect on Jerry Jones because he does nothing without Jimmy Johnson. He's done nothing, bro. Why should you respect?
Didn't he win a championship without Jimmy Johnson?
No, that was Jimmy Johnson's team that he won.
He still won a championship without Jimmy Johnson, right? You're like stating things that are facts that are actually inaccurate. He won a championship without Jimmy Johnson. Don't say, "Oh, it was Jimmy Johnson's team." It was coached by Barry Switzer. He still won a championship.
That was Jimmy's coaching staff and his entire team, bro.
He never loses like Jerry does.
Once Jerry lost Jimmy's team, which that was Jimmy's team, did he ever build another championship team again? Is the question.
No, but
did he even ever get to a Super Bowl?
Did Jimmy ever build a championship team again?
Oh,
no.
He stopped already. He's not coaching anymore, my man.
Okay, but when he coached for the Dolphins, he never built a championship team.
No, of course not. He did it all wrong here.
It's not as easy as you want to make it seem like it is.
I never made it seem easy. I'm just saying you're making Jerry out to be something he isn't. I'm telling you,
Jerry does more with draft picks and drafting players than 80% of NFL teams.
Yeah, no, they have drafted very well the last couple.
They draft extremely well. They don't need a first-round pick to find a franchise quarterback.
But they have nothing to show for it. Zero.
What the Dolphins got to show for anything?
I know that, but that's my point. But the Dolphins have a reason for not.
You know what Jerry's got to show for it? Money.
Right, but that's not a Super Bowl, my brother. The discussion was about winning and Super Bowls. Don't change the subject.
You need an elite quarterback to have a Super Bowl.
Well, apparently they don't have an elite franchise because they don't win any Super Bowls. They don't even go to Super Bowls. They don't even come close to sniffing an NFC Championship game. Okay, they struggle with the first round of the playoffs. Omar,
it's hard.
First round.
It's hard to win a playoff game. It's not easy.
I know. That's why he hasn't done anything since he lost Jimmy Johnson's team. After Jimmy Johnson's team faded out, it was over. He was never able to do it again. That's all. What are you working on the Sun Sentinel so folks can check you out?
Putting together. I annually do this. The basically top prospects in 3 different ranges for the team to select. Player that they would trade up for, because they don't have anything but a 3rd-round pick. A player who's probably going to be there in their 3rd-round range, and then a guy that you could throw him on the pile later on in the draft, the positions needs.
So those 2 7th-rounders are going to get traded. That's what you're saying. Okay.
2 7th-rounders, like,
to move up a couple spots. That's probably what's going to happen.
And nobody wants these draft picks, bro. So they're probably going to be giving away a 1st-round draft pick at the end.
Well, actually, what the guys are telling me is that they're all trying to get back in the draft. They're trying to go backwards into the draft. They don't want to go forward. They want to.
Yeah. No, everybody's trying to go backwards into the draft. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If you do want to go forward, it's going to be easy. Easier.
Yeah. Well, I heard nobody wants to go forward. That's the problem. Especially
somebody's going to want to go forward.
The first half of the draft, like people are having trouble. Like you're gonna have to get a lot less than you normally would in order to move down.
That reminds me of the Deion Jordan draft, where you're going to be able to move up at a discounted price.
Yeah, and not get something good.
Yeah, hopefully you get something good with it. But yeah,
there he is. Omar Kelly. Follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly. Catch his work at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. And make sure you subscribe and support Omar and all the great journalists covering our local sports scene. Have a fantastic weekend. Feel better, brother. Get rid of that stuff already and get some Nature B in your system, man. Little 2 golden capsules, man. Trust me.
That's a good point.
NatureB.com. Trust me. Get it. Big O, free shipping. Go.
All right.
Telling you, it's a virus-filled world. Omar needs it. You need it. Everybody needs it. Get those 2 golden capsules. NatureB.com.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
All right, we are back, and there he is. Yves Sham, baby. ADreamLending.com, AmericanDreamLending.com. Yves, how you doing, my friend? You doing all right?
I'm doing good. How about yourself, Big O?
I'm feeling good. We're out here at the KSDT CPA offices here in Dadeland having some fun. And
Nice.
So let me ask you something right now with the rates going up the way they have. What are the options now for folks out there, and what are the kind of programs that people are taking advantage of right now at American Dream Lending?
Well, as everybody knows, if you've been watching the media, rates are up.
Yeah.
Rates have gone up. The average 30-year rate conventional mortgage today sits at about 5.128%. So we're about 2% higher than we were in December of last year, which is a lot more than the Feds have raised the rate. Obviously, this has been impacted by what Putin's invasion of Ukraine has impacted the global markets and the economy, and of course, a lot has to do with the inflation. All the money that we printed during the pandemic, it's coming back to bite us now. That chairman's talking about another half a point increase. So, the rates that we had during the pandemic, those are gone. Those 3%, those 2% interest rates, they're finished. Okay. Right now, what has been happening in the marketplace is that homeowners are sitting on more wealth than they've ever sat on in this country, ever in the history of the United States of America. That means that you, middle income, own my home, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, pool or no pool, could be anywhere in South Florida, and you bought a couple years ago, you're sitting on, tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equity. What you need to think about right now is, if you have that equity, is what could you possibly do with it? Now, if you're that, safe individual who wants to make their payments, pay off their house, and stick to that plan of getting it paid down into retirement, then there's probably nothing you can do. Unless you have high interest rate debt on your credit card and we can get those paid off, there's probably nothing you can do. But if you're a little more savvy, you got a little entrepreneurial mind, and you feel like you could take $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 cash, put it to work, and make money with it, the higher interest rate really doesn't matter. It's irrelevant.
Right.
But of course, not everybody's in that position. Purchase market is still hot. We have more home buyers than there are homes in the market. Mm-hmm. And of course, with the increase in prices, along with the increase in interest rates and the increase of homeowners insurance costs here in the state of Florida, a lot of people are getting priced out of the market. People that were looking for that 4-bedroom house, now you may be looking for that 3-bedroom townhome. If you're looking for that townhome, you may be looking for a condo at this point. At the end of the day, whatever your mortgage needs are, though, the market is still open. So if you need cash, if you need to buy a house, if you're looking to purchase that second vacation home, maybe put it up on Airbnb or VRBO, make some extra cash that way. There's still a number of opportunities out there in the real estate market. They're just a little bit different.
Yeah, and listen, while the mortgage rate is up to 5%, you mentioned it, for those people that have the equity, and dude, if you have a whole bunch of credit cards that are at 15, 18, and 22, and 25.
You can still save money.
Yeah, you can save a whole load of money by consolidating all of that, by using your equity to kind of pay off those cards. And in a way, Eves, you're going to be saving money too. Why? Because you're cutting all that interest rate down and you're using the mortgage rate. And by the way, in another month or two, that 5.1% mortgage rate is going to be probably a 5.3. And 5.4, exactly. 5.7.
Do not wait. Now is not the time to wait. If you haven't taken advantage of lower rates or accessing your equity or buying that additional property, don't wait any longer, because it may be unattainable.
How about this? How about we're here at KSDT, and maybe the taxes you had to pay and you're a little tight. This is an opportunity to take advantage of that equity you have to kind of loosen things up a little bit and unload all those other bills over the next year, because let's be honest, man, rates are going to go up. The recession is coming, whether you like it or not. I don't wish it on any of us, but the amount of money we printed in the last two presidents, you have to pay that credit card, and we're going to pay that credit card. And then you throw in a war and everything else, and all the other stuff that's going on, it's going to get uglier as the year goes on. This is actually a golden time right now to take advantage of all of that.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, historically, we're still at very, very low interest rates. If your parents bought a house in the 80s, they were happy getting a 10.9%, ecstatic getting a 10.9%.
Right.
So, rates are still less than half of where they were at that point in time. So just because they've gone up from record lows that we saw through the pandemic, don't think that you do not need to buy, because rent has gone up 40 to 50%
Yeah.
every month in South Florida. So
Yeah.
you are paying extra for your home to live in. I mean, that rental that you're paying $2,000, now that rental is $3,000, $3,500 very easily. And Boss B, we do handle VA loans. Give us a call. We can definitely take care of you.
I was just going to tell you that because Boss B was asking about VA loans, and yes, they do it all, man. VA loans. So make sure you call Eves, and Eves, give them that cell number that is always ready for everybody out there.
You guys give me a call, 305-992-5218. Anytime, we'll answer your call. Anything you need, any mortgage questions you have, or maybe you just want to call to see if you're in a good place.
Right.
We can call, take a look at, your current mortgage situation, your current debt situation, and in 20 or 30 minutes, I may say, hey, look, you're doing a great job. Just keep doing what you're doing, and if you have any other questions, give me a call at any time. That's perfectly fine. At least you'll know when you finish sitting down and speaking with me that you are in the best place possible with your mortgage.
305-992-5218. That's Eves. Make sure you call him. He's a great man. Does great work there at AmericanDreamLending.com. 305-992-5218. Eves, have a great weekend, my brother. Thank you for taking some time and educating us on a really tough time right now, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Big O. You guys have a good one. Enjoy the Easter holiday. All my Dol fans out there, keep your U's up. Let's go, South Florida. Have a good one.
You got it. There you go. Eve Sham, baby. AmericanDreamLending.com. Boss B, give him a ring. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? We got Jets at Panthers tonight. Florida Live Arena. I like it tonight. You know why? Because we've got the Panthers at 7, and then we don't see, we've got the playoff games also going on. So we'll get to watch the Cavs and the Hawks on the side to kind of see who's going to play the Heat. Panthers, remember, they're battling the Avalanche for that number 1 overall spot. Although when you talk to George and David, the way they give you the impression that the Panthers are going for it, but they're not going to kill themselves for that number 1 overall. And because home ice is not money in the bank in hockey, that maybe the Avalanche don't make it all the way to the finals. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's maybe what they're banking on. And then also, again, the Eastern Conference, one of the things that happened last year, of course, they had the bad draw, but also they weren't at home.
Right.
So it would have been a little bit different. I think now the atmosphere at FLA Live Arena is ungodly. I mean, it really, when on TV now, it's starting to even sound tremendous compared to what it used to be.
They're getting what they deserve.
Yes.
They're getting what they deserve. They deserve a rowdy crowd and great support. I hope you all are doing it, man, out there. Welton Rayom right there, man. Welton Rayom text line, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056 on the Welt and Rayom text line. In fact, let's check the Welt and Rayom text line. Let's see what we've got coming in here at 855-912-1056. Let's see. Hey, Orlando, great show today. Nobody comes close to the expert guest you provide on the South Florida sports scene. Not ashamed to say I battled depression during the isolation in my state because of COVID-19, inflation, etc. Your show has been a bright spot and a reason to smile and laugh in respite from the events going on around us. So you truly are making a difference in folks' lives in your own way. So a sincere thank you and God bless. See you in Vegas. We'll be there Wednesday before the draft. Eric and Rolinthia, Mesquite, Nevada. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Can't wait to see you guys. Looking forward to it. And very kind words, man. Very kind words. We appreciate it. Let's see. Somebody send me some Yahoo link. What is it? Mike Bossy, Islanders, 4-time champion, dies at 65. Yes, I saw that. And it must be that's one that hits home for you Islanders fans, obviously. No doubt about that. Let's see. Part of the text I see, I am athlete, Waddle's words on Tua's toughness. People sometimes miss what's important and see superficial things like stats, miss the most important thing for a great QB: poise, moxie, toughness, that dog in them. Burrow has all of that, and so does Tua. Maybe Herbert someday, but not yet for him. I'll tell you how that equation works out: elite pocket presence and footwork. On Marcel's interview, Flores held Tua out by house owns admission. Tua was ready to go. Granted, I think protecting him against himself argument is valid, but you can't hold those games he was out against Tua past the 3 IR mandatory games. Yeah, no, listen, man. I'm not one of those guys that's going to hold that kind of stuff against Tua. I think again, I hopefully I will be proven right this year. And even those of you that aren't Tua people and aren't believers, you better hope I'm right if you're a real Dolphins fan. But I think he will prove a lot of people wrong. And even in those of you that are doubters, you should hope that you're wrong, right? I mean, it's like yesterday, the guy goes, but don't you want the economy to crap out so Bitcoin can explode? I'm like, no, not really. No, that's not why I got it. I'm not trying to, hope that the world goes to shit and the Bitcoin goes all the way. No, I hope both go, that Bitcoin flies and the economy does well and, everything works out. I'd rather it that way. Yes, unfortunately, yes, it's a hedge against inflation. And a lot of us that are in Bitcoin specifically, we feel that that's what's going to end up happening, especially next year when the recession comes. By the end of this year, when the recession comes, but I hope it doesn't. It's hard not to imagine it not coming. Let's see. Shad reminds me of a Weebelow's kid not getting his Boy Scout badge and coming up with ridiculous grading systems in retribution. The reason I listen to you is because you are a no excuse person. You don't allow people to make excuses for you. You ask them to move on and try to get better. This is why I don't understand why you have such hatred for people who still on the wait and see for Tua. No, I don't have any hatred. If he doesn't come out, I don't mind the wait and see people. See, here's, and he goes, he is working on trying to get better. Let's see if it works out for him. I hold on a second. First of all, I don't mind the wait and see people. I may disagree with you on what your stance is on Tua. The people that I go after are the people that are already convinced and they think he can't play and they think his arm's not strong enough or he doesn't work hard enough. Waste of a draft pick, all of that stuff. Oh, that Herbert is guaranteed better and he's not. And Herbert hasn't done anything to prove he's better outside of the physical talent and the stats. It's about winning and making a difference in the games and all that. And he has not put them in a position to be in the playoffs when he has a better team than Tua. So that's where I have a problem with the anti-Tua people. Okay? Those are the people that I go after. But I don't go after the people on the wait and see. At least I give those people credit. They haven't given up on the kid. They don't say he's got a noodle arm. They don't say he's too short, can't do it. They don't say that I'm done with him. He's never going to be the guy. He doesn't have it. The people that say, I'll wait and see, I've never heard them say that. They're saying, wait and see. I haven't seen enough. That's understandable. That's totally understandable. But don't tell me that he's the problem and why they're not in the playoffs or why they're not better or why they'll never get good. That's the part that I'm going to argue till I die. Or he proves me wrong. One of the two. So I have more of a problem with those folks. Not I haven't seen enough yet. At least I give you credit. At least I give you credit that you're giving yourself the opportunity to wait and see and assess the whole picture because you haven't seen all the evidence in the case. So you can't make a determination. So at least you're doing what I'm doing. At least I think he can play, but of course, what set him back is what's around him. Well, now I think looks like they've fixed it. So now hopefully we'll see what I expect. And for those of you wait and see, you'll be convinced. For those of you that don't believe, well, we'll see how you end up changing your mind. Let's see what else. Big O, are you a Dolphins season ticket holder? If not, which game are you more interested in going? I am not a season ticket holder, and I will probably not go to any game this year because I'm working. I'll be at the Sports Grill in Doral for pre and post game shows. Okay. Let's see. Somebody says I'm looking well rested today. Really? Okay. I still see bags. But they're not as bad as they've been in the past, by the way. They're not dark.
It's the filter I put on you.
Ah, that's what it is. Okay. There we go. I don't know if there's a filter I could save this face. I just hope the line gives him time to go to his second and third reads. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. I was a Tua doubter, but I'm a pain, and so I support him and hope he succeeds like you, Big O. Jean-Luc says, one thing is that Tua is extremely smart, can shift the coverage with his eyes, and works hard as hell to be his best for every game. What difference has Tua made in 2 years on the Dolphins? What difference has he made 2 years on the Dolphins? Yeah. What's well, ask Brian Flores, who has a losing record without Tua. Let's see. Let's be honest here. If Tua doesn't look good this year, we know what our 2 first-round picks will be packaged to trade up for. 2 first-rounders, 1 second, 2 thirds. It ain't going to be just 2 first-rounders, son. It'll be a lot more than that. Unless they're really bad and then they already have a really high pick. Then, then that's it. Then you take your quarterback and you use all the other picks for other things again. Corporate greed is a problem that correlates with government greed. To believe one can exist independently of the other is nonsensical. Oh, if you had a pick right now, Tua or Lamar oh God, it's not even a question. Please, bro. Lamar Jackson? I would never pick Lamar Jackson as a quarterback, period. He's not a quarterback. Yeah, it's John Rouse in the house with that question. Yeah. At least make it fun and pick Herbert or somebody like that. You know what I mean? Lamar Jackson can't pass, dude. Yeah. I saw that story with Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. You know, they haven't agreed to a contract. He hasn't even approached them. Remember, he doesn't have an agent. It's his mom, the agent. And I think he's kind of trying to bank on his 5th year on himself. And that's pretty ballsy to do that, because if it doesn't work out well for him, he's not going to get that deal. And let me tell you something, the Ravens, with the kind of football he plays, what a risky deal that is from here on out. He takes a lot of hits. He is wearing down now the last 2 years, if you notice, which was the inevitable. I'm surprised he has survived this long. I thought he would already be broken in half. Not that I'm wishing it upon him, but if he can't learn to beat you from the pocket with his arm on a consistent basis, and he thinks he's going to beat you with his legs all the time, I'm sorry. This league has proven over and over again they're going to break you in half. And I don't care if you're Cam Newton. I don't care if you're Tim Tebow. I don't care if you're Ben Roethlisberger. They will tenderize you. They will pulverize you. That's what's going to happen. So that is a risky deal right there with the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. And I don't think he's being very smart about this. He should hire an agent, pay him the 2 or 3%, Hell, some agents are called 1% something around the league because they'll undercut other agents who get 3% and just take 1%. So they call specific agents 1% and then they use their first name. We got basketball tonight. Hawks and Cavs. Hawks favored by 2.5. Pelicans and Clippers. Clippers favored by 4. And you know what we also have? Liquor Split is a proud sponsor of our show. And every day, well, not every day, we do it a couple times a week. And we give you our Liquor Split matchup of the night. We give you the pick we like the most. That way you can call Liquor Split tonight, tomorrow night, while you're watching the Inter Miami match, or if you're watching the Florida Panthers play tonight, you can call Liquor Split. Download the app, tap that app. Everybody loves to tap that app. iOS or Android, Liquor Split. Let's do our Liquor Split matchup of the night.
It's time to tap that app. And no one loves to tap that app like the Big O. Here's the Liquor Split matchup of the night.
All righty, there you go. By the way, remember, here in South Florida for Liquor Split, tap that app. Download the app, iOS or Android. For those of you, they will be expanding, but here in South Florida. And you know what's going to be my Liquor Split matchup of the night? It's not going to be in the NBA because I was looking at the games, and the Hawks by 2.5, they can win that one, but they could also lose. And I can't trust Trae Young. He could go off or he could be erratic, and the Cavs and Garland could end up advancing to take on the Heat. Fly, Pelican, fly. Well, the Clippers are favored by 4 against the Pelicans. Again, hard for me to trust the Clippers. But in soccer, let me tell you something. I'm going to go off of last week's game where Inter Miami defeated New England Revolution. And they won 3-2. Obviously, a hat trick by Campana. This week, tomorrow night, they're in Seattle. So when you pull up that Liquor Split app and you order some beer, some wine, a little vodka, a little Tito's, a little Grey Goose, or anything like that, don't forget you can also get a little Edge energy drink as an elixir to mix that up. 78 calories only on that Edge energy drink. But my Liquor Split matchup of the night, well, Inter Miami is at Seattle. They showed a lot more offense this past week with that injection of youth, right? Well, the over and under is 2.5 goals. Seattle's favored by a goal. And Seattle on the money line is minus 175. And Miami is plus 460 on the money line. And no, I'm not going crazy and picking Miami on the road, especially against Seattle, who is normally a powerhouse in the MLS. And it's a pretty sure thing to go minus 175, but it's minus 175 on the money line. The one I like is 2.5. And I like the over because I think you'll have 3 goals in this game. The Inter Miami defense is not good. It has not been good all year long. Seattle will score on them. And if what we saw this week against New England is a sign of things to come, that these young guys on the pitch will make a difference and create some havoc, then I'm expecting some goals. And I'm expecting at least 3 goals in this game on Saturday night. So my Liquor Split matchup of the night, I'm going with the over. Inter Miami at Seattle, 2.5 goals. That, my friends, is our Liquor Split matchup of the night.
The matchup of the night is brought to you by Liquor Split, Miami's own online liquor store. Liquor Split. Download then tap that app and get your favorite liquor delivered to you for just $2.99. No risk, no drinking and driving. Tap that app with Liquor Split.
All right, and don't forget, it's a flat fee of $2.99. Whatever your chips you want to get, dips, all kinds of snacks they have, drinks, and of course, all kinds of alcohol. And remember, you got an important meeting. It's 2:00 in the afternoon. You got a client coming over to the office. You forgot his favorite whiskey, his favorite vodka, his favorite wine, her favorite drink. whoever you're meeting with. Grab that app. Tap that app, baby. Tap it, iOS or Android. Liquor Split, and order it right there. Flat fee of $2.99, no hidden fees, and $1 of that $2.99 goes to helping solve homelessness in Miami. So not only are you taking care of something you need quickly with Liquor Split, but you're also doing it for a good cause too. Liquor Split is the app. Tap that app. All right. What else do we have here? Jean-Luc says, what difference did the hip injury make to Tua? Back in the day, that might have been career-ending. Try to throw a football without using your legs to drive the power. Not many pure arm throwers. No, yeah, definitely. And especially a kid like him. And last year, the second half of the season, he's playing with fractured ribs and a finger. You think that's going to be easy? Hell no. It's definitely not going to be easy. So, yeah, I'm with you all the way. William Bailey, thank you always. Appreciate it, by the way. I think we gave him a little love on, I think we mentioned it before in the Cash App, but I was just going through it there. Big O, I think all of these advertisers the last 2 years for Tua, adversities, I'm sorry, adversities the last 2 years for Tua will prove to benefit him, making him the player he needs to be. Breakout year. I hope so, Jose. I hope so. Jean-Luc says, I'm going to check them out. All right, Jean-Luc, appreciate you. Both of you all should get a reverse mortgage and zip it. There you go. We'll call American Dream Lending, and they'll take care of you, man. They're good people over there. Did you see the guy that died from a snake bite? Yeah. So there's this story I read, right? So this guy is at his home, and he dies from a snake bite, right? But there's a problem with this story, okay? The guy dies from a snake bite, but he has 124 snakes. Yeah. So a Maryland man found dead with 124 snakes in his home. He died of a snake bite. David Riston, at 49, died of snake envenomation. I guess he was poisoned. Venomation, I guess. Envenomation, I think is how it's pronounced. The Maryland Department of Health confirmed to USA Today. Riston died in January. Some of the snakes in his home included rattlesnakes, cobras, black mambas, and a 14-long Burmese python, according to multiple reports. The snakes included venomous and non-venomous variety. Officials entered Riston's home on January 19th as they received a call from the concerned neighbor. The Charles County Sheriff's confirmed at the time Riston was pronounced dead at the scene. My man had, some of the snakes, by the way, were illegal, and experts in exotic animals removed the creatures also. Yeah.
I don't know about Maryland. I know here you have to have a license and you have to be inspected if you have any type of venomous snakes, because you have to have a lock on the cage, a lock on the room that is physically holding them, and everything else if you have them in your home in Florida.
124 snakes. Dude.
Yeah, I can't imagine that.
No wonder he died. I mean, God bless.
I wonder how many of them were actually the venomous kind. I mean, black mambas are crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Black mambas are fast as snakes.
By the way, some of you out there are going to be disappointed to hear this, but Kelly Kuko will never get married again.
What?
Yep, the flight attendant star says that she is swearing off tying the knot again after her divorce from Carl Cook. That's right. She explained that. She says, I will never get married again. She added, it's saying I do. That's out of the question. I would love to have a long-lasting relationship or a partnership, but I will never get married again. Absolutely not. You can literally put that on the cover. Watch her get married like in 3 years.
Sure. Married tomorrow.
Well, I wasn't going to get married, but I found the love of my life and all that stuff, and that's what's going to end up happening.
Although she's pretty well off with the Big Bang Theory and everything else.
Oh, no,
like
yeah.
That.
Oh, my God. No, yeah. She's got this new show called The Flight Attendant, and she's kind of like a A secret spot. By the way, don't tell me about it. I have it saved. I have it like what's that called on my
DVR.
DVR, my YouTube. It's not really DVR. You just check it nowadays, and it gets saved. But I I wanted to try it. I haven't watched it at all. Anybody give me a scouting report. We have over 250 people watching right now. Is there a scouting report on the flight attendant? Is it worth watching? Is it good? I know Kelly's a smoke show. I get it. She's super cute and hot and all that stuff. But seriously, is it a good show? Is it worth watching? Okay. Snake 1, human 0. That's the score. Damn, RIP to that man, but 124 snakes. Es una locura. I mean, what are you doing, bro?
Let me ask you a question, though, and I don't know because the story probably didn't say, but the snake that ended up biting him, that ended up killing him, he didn't get that back into the cage, right?
No, probably not.
So there's a snake running around this building now that can kill people.
Probably, yeah.
Adios mío.
And there's probably several of them in yards and bushes all over South Florida, for sure, that people have let them go.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Even the rock pythons that are wild, they're crazy. They're not like the Burmese pythons. Those things will strike at you.
Yeah, definitely.
You can tell the one snakes that are very calm or fed or pets.
Right.
Because they'll kind of just be chill. But then you got the rock pythons. They strike out at you, man. Those
Hell
things,
yeah. Oh, yeah, scary, bro. Problem is, if he's unconscious, no one can tell which snake bit him. Don't know which anti-venom to give. Can't give all at once. Yeah. How about this, John? Don't have 124 snakes in your house and no venomous ones. And how about that? You know, it's just like, wow. I don't know what gives you what rise do you get to have that kind of, that thing in your, in your possession. I don't know. Just doesn't make any sense. We are awaiting Cameron Wolf, by the way. He should be joining us soon for our KSDT CPA, Miami Dolphins, and NFL report. Marlins did win yesterday against the Phillies 4-3. Alcantara with a nice game, 6 1/3, 2 earned runs, 5 Ks. Garrett Cooper had the solo shot in the 4th inning. 31,000, biggest crowd since 2018. Tonight it'll be Zach Eflin and Pablo Lopez at 6:40. Did you see that story that the Marlins could have had Nick Castellanos? Apparently, once Jeter left, Nick Castellanos ended up signing with the Phillies for 5 years for $100 million. He had 34 home runs, 100 RBIs last year, and batted .309. Because in today's, Yeah, he's in South Florida. He signed with the Phillies, 5 years, $100 million. So according to the story, I think Barry Jackson wrote the story that once Jeter left, Castellanos said, "No, I'm not going there." And who knows? Maybe they didn't want to spend the money for Castellanos. But 34 home runs and 100 RBIs and .309. Because you know what it is nowadays, right? Nowadays it's 240. 250 and you hit 35 home runs and 100 RBIs. That's the norm now. The abnormal is finding a guy that can actually hit over 300 and for power. Holy crap. And can drive in runs too. So the guy also has the moxie that he will have people on base. He will drive them in. It's not like 34 home runs and 62 RBIs. No, it's 100 RBIs. Okay?
The Marlins will Marlin.
Yeah, I know. But I read that story, and it's like, you cringe, bro. You cringe because I love the Marlins. I want baseball to have success. I need them to spend some money, man. Got to have them spend some money. Jean-Luc says, Jeter left? When I hear Marlins, I usually tune out. Tony says, that's why the Marlins organization is a clown show. Jonies says, I have 40 pet snakes. All of them are non-venomous. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Okay. All my cages are locked and they're kept in their own building. I have it on my property. Yeah, but at least, dude, you don't have ones that can kill you. I mean, just You know, it's just like
he's the responsible owner. That's
right.
the thing you got to do. You don't
right. Venomous cobras.
But he kept 124 of them in his apartment. It's not like he's got his own house there. He's got 124
in his apartment.
That some are venomous, and they're in his apartment.
It's crazy, dude. That is crazy. I saw it and it was like, are you kidding me? We have them? Oh, okay. Okay. Did you see that story in Atlanta? By the way, can we stop doing this? Please, can I? Because I have ripped this genre of music over and over for this because it only happens in this genre of music. Okay? It doesn't happen in country. It doesn't happen in R&B. It doesn't happen in new wave, EDM, heavy metal, blues, bluegrass, classical, pop, you name it. Only in rap does it happen. Do we have to keep killing our rappers? Do rappers all over the country, some of them, have to be into gun violence constantly? And it's big-time rappers, medium-sized rappers, small rappers. I would say Archie Eversaw is a medium-sized rapper, right? Because, there are local rappers all over, but Archie had a little more success. He had the We're Ready song, and they play it at the Atlanta games. I can we stop? I don't understand this, bro. The man's 37 years old. His brother killed him. Like every day, every other day, I read about rappers getting killed or they're involved in some gun violence or something like that. And I look at it and like in music in general, we've had to deal with, musicians ODing. That's like normal, right? That happens in all genres of music that we lose people. All right. But rap's the only one that has this thing with violence. And then we end up losing or killing some of our best artists. And I don't understand this, bro. Like, I don't get it. I see this young man from Atlanta, 37. It's like Nipsey Hussle. The guy fought through brutal times to then come out on the good and then do good for others, and then we shoot him dead. It's like, what the hell are we doing, dude? It's like the only genre of music that is tied up with all this mess all the damn time. It's well over 100 rappers we've killed in the last 25 years. For one reason or another, dude. It's like, I don't know what the hell it is, but man, dude, we're hurting that genre of music. And they don't figure it out themselves that the gun violence is not helping. I just don't, it doesn't happen in country, doesn't happen in disco, doesn't happen in R&B, doesn't happen in new wave, EDM, heavy metal, nothing. No genre except rap. The only one, dude. It's the weirdest stories all the damn time. It's so sad, man. We could have created a hall of fame just with the rappers we've killed. It's crazy, man. Sad. Got to stop, man. Got to figure it out. All right, time for our KSDT CPA Miami Dolphins and NFL report.
We unleash the Wolf Pack as we get the latest in the NFL and the Miami Dolphins with our KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL Network insider Cameron Wolf. KSDT is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370. Here's NFL insider Cameron Wolf.
All right, we are back. Here he is, Cameron Wolf. And before I get into a little football, Cam, I don't know if you heard what I was just talking about, because I saw the Archie Eversole story, and the man dies at 37, and he was kind of a local rap hero there because the "We Ready" song is used in the Atlanta soccer games, and it's the weirdest thing, dude. It's the only genre of music where we're constantly killing our artists. Or the artists are involved in some kind of gun violence. I just don't get it, Cam. I'm just wondering what goes through your mind when because I just said it. We have a Hall of Fame of rappers that we've killed. Like, it's a Hall of Fame list that they should all still be here, bro. All of them. From Jam Master Jay to Tupac to Nipsey Hussle. I mean, we could just go through it all, dude. It's just Biggie, whatever. It's just crazy, dude, how this goes on and on and on, and it doesn't stop.
So I have a little bit of a torn perspective on this, because like I think you're right in your core issue, in that a lot of the genre is based off of violence and murder and all of this, and you don't want these people killing each other. And a lot of that,
actually live it. You can talk about it, but
and so even two of the best artists of all time, Biggie and Tupac, they were murdered before their peak, honestly. But I think I listen to a lot of hip hop and rap. That's probably my favorite genre of music. And so because of that, I understand why, even if I don't agree with it. So you have to understand, like, hip hop was born off of people in the hood who didn't felt heard. And a lot of it's bringing attention, respect, love to their culture, their community.
But Cam, so was the blues.
Right. But let me continue. Right. So a lot of these people who have become our stars in this industry have grew up in the murder and the violence and the atmosphere there. So they are honestly just bringing on the reality of their lives. And a lot of them have outlived this, and they've grown the riches to where they're past this, right? But they can't get away from what their upbringing was. And I think that's probably the biggest struggle there. We see it a lot of times, even in athletes. If you can't escape your upbringing, then you're doomed to become a part of it. So I think maybe some of these genres, what they do better than rap and hip hop is they escape where they came from. And I think rap and hip hop there's such a luxury in promoting where you came from, and always being the guy who never left, never changed, always put on for the city. That became such a thing that honestly, I think a lot of these people get caught up. Like, it's if you realize it, most of the time.
But at one point, you got to get smart and understand that you're dead. You're not going to help.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so and here's the other thing. It's not just the rappers, it's the people around the genre. Dude, you're hurting your own genre. The hell are you doing? What are you doing killing Tupac? What are you doing killing Biggie? What are you doing shooting Jam Master Jay? What are you doing? You're not helping in any way, shape, or form here. And so either the rappers have to understand you can talk about it, live it. I mean, you could talk about it that you lived it, but don't actually live it. And like I just told you, the blues, my Lord, the blues came from all of that. That's exactly what the blues were all about. And they didn't go about living it after. You know what I'm saying? They came about educating us. And if you listen to the words, because that's what a lot of artists do with their poetry, with their music, with whatever, they're giving us life lessons for us to actually learn and see what they've been through and what they've experienced and those kind of things. But man, if we kill them, we don't get to learn more. We don't get to experience more. We don't get to connect more. We don't get to get over the hump of all of this. And that's the part that bothers me. Let's get over the hump of the violence part, bro.
No, I hear you, but I also think we got to be careful and not stereotyping an entire industry and genre, because obviously a lot of the rap music genre is Black people, right? And so
that part I don't care about. I care about the reality. But it doesn't go on in heavy metal. It doesn't go on in R&B. It doesn't go on in pop, and it doesn't go on in EDM.
Okay,
it's the reality.
So there is a reality in that it does happen, but I think there's a whole crabs in a bucket mentality that happens in a lot of different areas in life. So yes, it does happen in rap music and hip hop a lot, but you talk about the people in the community. If you're the only person that's escaping your community, like for example, Kendrick Lamar has a song called Black Boy Fly, where he talks about the guys who got out of Compton. You got guys like DeMar DeRozan, you got guys who are all athletes. So a lot of times in this industry, particularly for Black people, you're only out if you're an athlete or you're a rapper. And so for them, they may be the only person in their school, they're the only person in their city who got out. So naturally, and it's not fair, but there's a crab in a bucket mentality where somebody else is going to try to grab them so they don't get out. And so I don't think that's only rap music. I think that's a part of society, but it is something that's afflicted in rap music.
Well, no, society is one thing, and you're right, and it does happen in society. But in the musical genres, it only happens in one. Period.
I think it's more public in one. It's more public in one.
It does. Where does it happen in R&B or EDM or?
There are R&B artists who were killed, rock artists who were killed. So I think it's just more public.
Those are, you're talking about, those are aberrations. Those are outliers. That's what they are. This is a commonality. This is an everyday occurrence, practically. Okay,
So I think that as we've seen rap music evolve, because if you think about rap music, it started as a very small circle of people who listen to hip hop and rap. And now it's grown to the point where, I don't know the numbers, but I'd argue that hip hop and rap might be the top music genre that most people listen to in America because of just the way it's been. So because of that, we see the more mainstream element of rap and hip hop. So we see the depth. We see this where we might not see it with, rock and roll or
go to a Lil Wayne concert. You'll see more white people there than anything.
No. But that's a great example of how you've seen rap and hip hop be able to cross over. Yeah. Because in the 80s, you're right. If you go to a Wu-Tang Clan concert, you're probably not going to see much, if any, white people there, right? No. So now your main artists, your Lil Waynes, your Drakes, some of these guys who they've crossed over to be sort of pop artists in a sense, even though they're rapping about some of the chronological. So I think that because of that, you're seeing a more fluid way. But that's why I just say just be a little careful on stereotyping, because I do think it's an issue. I do think it's an issue, and I'm saying that, but I also think that a lot of times when we make a broad statement about a group that's mostly from Black people, we make a mistake.
I understand that, but let's not hide from the facts, and my point is, stop killing my artists, bro.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. I want my artists to live too.
You're not killing my heavy metal guys.
Yeah.
Okay? My heavy metal guys live great lives. They never end up dying at all. I never have a problem with that. I'm not that much into pop, but they're not killing them either. You know what I'm saying? Stop killing my damn artists, bro. It's like I could have a hell of a lot more Tupac records, and Biggie's one of my favorites, bro. Like, I love Biggie, bro. Only got a couple albums from the guy. Come on, man. It's ridiculous. It's like I can't ever see Run DMC. I saw him at least. Remember, I'm in 79. I think it was 79, maybe very early 80s, probably 79. A friend of mine, my best friend across the street, his cousin came from New York and played us Rapper's Delight. And we were like, what the hell is this? And we were like losing our minds, because it wasn't even on radio. Because back in those days, music started in New York and it didn't get to us till a couple months later in South Florida. So we ended up hearing Rapper's Delight months before everybody else heard it, because of things like that when that was exploding. So for me, I've been a fan of that genre forever, and it's just I've watched it over the years, and it's just I saw the Atlanta guy, and it's like, damn, dude.
Nah, there's definitely been a lot of negativity about it, and that's why I want to be very intentional when I talk about the music. Although you highlight there needs to be growth, you have to also promote some of the positive elements and try to hope that gets the attention, right? Yeah. Because that's what takes us to the next generation. Like for me, I'm a lyric guy, and so my favorite lyricists always talk about some of these issues that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And it's you know, it's that's why I say having a full umbrella of everyone is dangerous. But while also recognizing that, look, this is an issue. That's a reality. So like, I'm a Nas guy, I'm a J. Cole guy, I'm
Nas is
a
awesome.
guy.
Love
Nas is my goat. I think he's the greatest of all time. But a lot of times, people don't view that because he's a very heavy lyricist instead of
Right.
a
Yeah. He's more into the story than necessarily the catchiest beats in the world. You know what I
Right.
mean? Whereas, let's say a guy that was more poppy, let's say what's the dude that was shot like 9 times? What's his name?
50 Cent.
Power.
50
Yeah.
Cent. 50 Cent.
Yeah, 50 Cent. See, he's more about the sound of it, the hooks, the you know, the beats to it all. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Whereas Nas, you're actually, if you listen, you're actually gonna. Did he just say that? You know, that's the kind of stuff that you get from Nas. Nas is different. Nas is an educated rapper. You walk away and you're gonna learn about rap. You know, when you're listening to Rapper's Delight and all that kind of stuff and Run DMC, it's fun rap. You know what I'm saying? It's a little different.
And there's pluses in everything, right? So like I see it like I said, I listen to Nas or J. Cole or Big Crit, some of these other guys, but I also know if I'm trying to go to the club, I'm gonna listen to something that's a little bit more upbeat. So there's all elements of that. But the reason why I mentioned Nas is because Nas had some of these conversations, particularly in his career, about hip hop and sort of the evolution of it. And you know, he's even had, you know, songs and references to hip hop being dead and all of this. And he comes from an area in originally Brooklyn and Queensbridge where he grew up, where that's an area where you're not expected to come out of, but he was able to grow from that and ideally create a whole element where artists have came because of Nas. You know, Cole, Kendrick, a lot of these artists have commented and said that Nas was a lot of their background and upcoming. So when I look at some of my favorite artists, I do not see them being connected to a lot of the gun violence and the death. And that's why when I mentioned the whole umbrella of it, that's what I'm thinking of in my mindset. There is a group, you know, maybe not everyone, but there is a group, a big group of hip hop and rap that are trying to redefine how we think about them.
Yeah, we just gotta get the damn guns out of it, bro. Enough.
Yeah.
All righty. I just don't want to see it keep losing them. All right. Did you catch Tua's interview on the fish tank with the boys with Seth and Juice?
Yeah, I caught some pieces of it. Definitely. I actually did a little Twitter Spaces with them the day before, so they let me know it was coming out. And so yeah, I caught a few clips of it. It's good to see Tua. We haven't really seen him since the end of the season talking. So we do enough talking about him, us on this show, everybody else on national TV. I'm always interested to hear what Tua says. So I'm eager to get a chance to talk to him myself, you know, as far as the media. But it's good to hear him talk about Mike McDaniel and some of the new elements of what he's expecting. You know, he mentioned that quote that I guess got a lot of traction as far as success, leaving footprints. And I think that just listening to him, I think he understands the significance, the opportunity, the importance of this season, this opportunity. And so he sound focused, and you know, I'm eager to see it on the field.
By the way, you're not one of them, but the Tua disbelievers, they got their money quote, so they can hold it against him.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about, right? He says, I think pressure is everywhere, and especially in any industry. You're either going to make use of the opportunities with the guys we have or not. That's what it is. I'm looking forward to making use of this opportunity. So the haters got their money quote now. See,
but let's be real.
He knows, Cam. You see, he knows that the pressure's on him, that he's got to get it done.
Right, but I've always felt that Tua is a very smart dude, and so like I think that, and I've mentioned this on this show before, like he is very intentional and great in putting on the perspective out there that none of this bothers him or he doesn't hear this. But he's human; he's heard this, and so maybe he doesn't use it as fuel. But I'd imagine that's a small part of him is wanting to prove people wrong and wanting to shut him up and show him what he can do. And so I think he also knows the reality of his team had been flirting with a quarterback that wasn't him for large portions of the year. So he's got to do his part to prove that he is the guy. And so people like you, people like me to an extent, have belief that he can still be that guy, but he knows he has to do it on the field. So I think that him saying that is just kind of the words behind what I thought he's always known, that he can be that guy, but he's got to show it. And I think that he knows Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, all these pieces. You've heard it on the talk shows. It's all on Tua, right? I don't think it's all on Tua, but I think he's going to approach this season with the belief that, hey, if I do my things right, we should be good. And so what people don't realize about Tua is that he's coming from an upbringing where everybody's always been hard on him. His family's been hard. His dad has been probably his hardest critic. You talk about people judging what he's gonna be and his arm strength. Can he stay healthy? I'm sure his dad has said all of those things and more to him, honestly. So I think that I don't question his toughness physically or mentally. And because of that, I was never really worried about him being impacted or him, going off the deep end there. I just wanted them to give him a true chance, which it seems like he's going to get an opportunity to get this year.
What'd you think of the guy can play 4 instruments and they're all self-taught and he knows no notes. It's all by ear. Did you hear that?
I didn't hear that. I remember in college he was playing the
piano,
ukulele, right?
Listen, piano, ukulele, guitar, and bass.
Yep.
Self-taught.
Yep. He's an impressive dude. He's an impressive dude, man. But let's just be real. Everybody, and I talk to people around the league, Big O, and I'll tell you this, like, it's not my opinion. These are people, executives across the league. I talked to them about the Dolphins, and they're like, hey, great offseason. We think they're a threat. They have a lot of talent on paper. Everything looks great. It's all going to be defined by the quarterback. And so that's the reality of it. Whether you like Tua, whether you hate Tua, we're going to see. And so I'm eager to see, everybody's kind of put out the, okay, now all the excuses are out of the gate. I don't know if Tua's ever made excuses, but the reality is, the Dolphins have finally truly put enough support around him, both on the field and off the field, that it's up to Tua to show that he can be the guy now. So that is the most important factor of this season. I know Dolphins fans are be like, hey, I want to win a Super Bowl. I'm not really worried about that in 2022. I'm worried about, okay, are we going to, for once and for all, end the question about whether Tua is the guy or not? To me, that's the most important storyline of this Dolphins season.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. You didn't get your hotel room already for Arizona?
I have not. I'll be in Arizona, so I'm gonna be there regardless of what teams are there. I cover the league, Big O. So
No.
But I hear you.
In Arizona covering the Dolphins this year. Okay.
I mean, I'm sure Dolphins fans will love that. I got to see it on the field before I can have any type of expectations of that.
It's coming.
I want to see them make the playoffs first, Big O. That's what we got to do first. You got to make the playoffs. You can't say that. You can't say it's nothing when this team has not made the playoffs since 2016. And it's a packed AFC conference. There's 13 teams that you could look at in the AFC right now and say they can make the playoffs. So yes, the Dolphins are improved, but are they better than those 6 other teams who are going to miss the playoffs?
Yes.
Yes, you're definitively saying that.
I have faith. Yes.
Well, you can have that faith. They got to prove it
through. It's happening this year.
They got to prove it.
I feel it. All right, here we go.
Trust me. I hope you're right, man. I tell people this all the time. I don't root for the Dolphins, but I live here. So if the Dolphins are good, that means I travel less. That means I'm here more. I cover more games. I get to see my daughter and my wife more, and everything's smooth. I enjoy living in South Florida and being in South Florida. The summers are a little rough, but trust me, I'd rather be here than in Buffalo in December. So I hope that it's right, but I am not going to give people false hope, and I'm not going to be a blind optimism until I see it on the field.
Blind ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind ass fan coming through.
You hit me on the buzzer?
No, he hit me. No, he's hitting me for the blind ass fan alert for guaranteeing.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah,
guaranteeing the playoffs and saying it's not a problem. So I've got the blind ass fan alert. So there you go. It's on me, bro. It's all on me. All right.
I mean, but look, it's April, right? So this is the time to have that optimism.
That's right.
I just have covered a lot of teams who've had the same optimism, and it's not worked out. So I'm just trying to tell fans
we do that every year here, bro. What are you talking about? I've been doing that for 20 years.
Exactly. So I know people want hope, but I am not here to sell you hope. I will tell you that the Dolphins are better. Are they going to for sure be a contender? No, I cannot tell you that. I just want them to get to the playoffs. That's my first start for them, and everything else from there, we'll see.
All right, folks, not me. I am your drug dealer. Here's your hopium. Here's your hopium. Here's your hopium. Hopium.
Hey, don't OD on that hopium. It's a dangerous drug.
Tell you, bro. Panthers winning the cup, Heat winning the title, and then of course
the Heat are definitely not winning the title.
And well, wait a minute. The Panthers are the better team, by the way. Okay,
the Panthers might win the cup.
Yes,
but the Heat are definitely not winning the title. Sorry, Heat fans.
No.
Who's
going to win the title?
Not the Heat. I am a Sixers fan, but I also do not think the Sixers are going to win the title.
Okay, I was just about
so I don't think the Sixers are going to win it. See, I am not a blind ass fan.
Okay.
I understand. I am going to root for the Sixers and hope, but I do not believe truly in my heart that they will win it. So,
by the way,
maybe the Suns get it this year.
Any truth that depends is going to be the new sponsor for Ben Simmons.
I'm fine with it. He's not a Sixer anymore. I'm fine. I'm fine with all the Ben Simmons backlash.
I'm just saying. I just heard that Depends is going to be his new sponsor. So
the craziest storyline. I was talking to my buddy about this. Every NBA game the Brooklyn Nets play, they show Ben Simmons on the sideline like 15 times a game. Like the dude is not playing anymore. Let it go. Let's move on to other players who actually want to play, can play. All that element. I got tired of it in Philly. We got James Harden, who he's had his own struggles, but at least he plays.
No, Harden's a choker. I'm talking about Simmons is soft. I don't care about this depression stuff and all. I know we have a big problem with depression. I know people deal with depression, but too many people use it as an excuse for just hiding that you're just soft. And Ben Simmons is soft. I don't care what else you want to label him. He can say whatever he wants. That dude is soft. That's just me. But, you don't think he's soft, or you want to stay away from that?
I think that I'm glad that Ben Simmons is not a Sixer anymore. I do not want to deal with that anymore. I was frustrated by Ben Simmons aplenty. I just don't think he has the Philly mentality to be able to succeed there. There's a type of
Philly mentality, interpretation, soft.
I don't like calling grown men soft because they're grown men, especially athletes. But I do say there's a certain mentality. Joel Embiid has the mentality to be a Philly player. He's been injured a lot, but he's not soft. He's a Philly dude. And so you got to, especially to be a star in Philly, you got to have a certain mentality. That's why Donovan McNabb got a lot of flack. They felt like he didn't have that certain mentality, whereas Terrell Owens did. It will spit you out. Allen Iverson had that Philly mentality. They will let you know. You don't have to tell them if you have it. They will let you know.
I know. I was a Phillies, Flyers, and Sixers fan all my life until we got those teams here. Never an Eagles fan because, obviously I always had the Dolphins.
I'll tell you this, and I'm guessing we're towards the end of our segment.
And those idiots in Philly actually booed my guy Mike Schmidt, which is just
I actually was at the Phillies Marlins game last night. I took my daughter. We go I've gone to Marlins game, Phillies game every year since I've been here in Miami. I took my daughter second year we've gone. The Phillies are 0-5 when I've gone to games there. So I don't know. I've got to stop going to games. I enjoy baseball games. I enjoy taking my daughter. We had a great time. But the Phillies always lose. So
we're sending a limo to your house to take you to the game today.
There's 3 more games, and trust me, I will not be at them. And I bet you they'll win all 3.
We need a limo service to pick up Cam at his house and take him to the Marlins game. And Marlins, if you're listening, we need Philly season tickets for Marlins Phillies here for Cam and his family. Put him in a suite.
Yeah,
Take care of him. Give him everything he wants. As long as the Marlins keep winning, that's a good
wild.
one.
So the Phillies to me are the team that I have your hopium for more than any other team. Every single year, I have hope that they're not going to let me down, and every single year they disappoint. So the Phillies are my Dolphins.
Yeah, I got the hope. I'm high as hell with my hopium on the
lay off that hopium, Big O. Lay off of it. It's dangerous.
Well, the thing is, the good thing about Dolphin fans is, see, we get all drugged up on hopium all off season into the regular season. But about halfway in the regular season, we then go cold turkey for months, and then, so we kind of straighten our lives out for a couple of months.
Yep.
And then a couple of months later, we're back on the hopium train again. And it's just one of those deals. So what can I tell you?
Part of being a fan, right? Just lay easy on it.
That's it. Follow him on Twitter at Cameron Wolf. Catch his work there at the NFL Network. And, of course, catch him twice a week here doing our KSDT CPA Miami Dolphins and NFL report. Cam, thank you, my brother. Have a great weekend.
All right, now you too, Big O. See y'all.
You got it. There you go. That's our KSDT Miami Dolphins report.
This has been the KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL insider Cameron Wolf. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
All right, we are back. Don't forget, you can reach out to us, of course, on the Welt and Realm text line. That's the Welt and Realm text line. That's 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the Welt and Realm text line. Cap for Life, thank you for a little love on a super chat.
I know that, dude.
Yes.
Where'd you get this?
Super chat.
Oh, gnarly. Awesome. Totally awesome.
There you go. Thank you, Cap for Life. Appreciate you as always. Let's see, what else do we have here? Ooh, we got the spammers back. All right. Eric Storm says, my money is on Golden State as long as they are healthy. But wait a minute, if your money's on it already, you didn't really lay your money. That's just like, that's just a term you're using for it, right? Because once you lay your money, if they are unhealthy, you don't get to pull it back out again. You know what I'm saying? So got to watch out with that, Eric. I'm messing with you, brother. They've been there, done it, and have arguably the best player in the NBA. NBA playoffs are entirely different. Regular season records mean nothing. Although I don't know if I would label Steph the best player in the game right now. I might go with Giannis. Maybe even Embiid has had a better year overall too. But I mean, we can have the discussion, obviously, but I don't know if I would outright put him number one on that one. Mike says Parker is going to cause Mac Jones to turn over the ball at least 3 more times this season than last year. Well, first he has to be on the field in order to do that. I like Devontae Parker. I've been always a big fan of Devontae Parker, but unfortunately you just can't, you can't count on him, and his body just doesn't hold up. Jean-Luc says, man, I want to see the Dolphins ball out so bad, like Larry Zonka, no-name defense type stuff. I need that in my life. We all do, my brother. We all do. But I'll feed you the hopium. We're going to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl. All right. Sports and business collide once again on the program. And when that happens, it's time for our KSDT Sports Business Reports. All righty. We always talk a little bit about what goes on in the world of sports and business. And sometimes they collide. And, there's Socios is, again, on the blockchain. Crypto. We kind of talk about crypto every once in a while on this show, which, by the way, the folks here at KSDT have crypto experts for you. So if you are a crypto investor like I am, they are going to take care of your taxes like me. So 13 teams in the NFL have now gotten involved with Socios. Remember, Socios is a fan token platform driven by Chili's. We've talked about Chili's in the past. And Chili's has all these ties to all the pro leagues. And this whole thing about fan tokens are going to end up exploding. Do you know why? Because Amazon's going to create their own coin that you're going to use in order to purchase products on Amazon. You're not going to use the dollar. You're going to use the Amazon coin instead. Eventually, that's what's going to happen. You have the option to use the dollar, but you'll probably use the Amazon coin, right? And this is going to happen with a lot of things in the future that you're going to have to purchase in order to do business on certain blockchains. You will have to use their utility token. It's what it's called. And so I can see Chili's cutting deals with NFL teams. So when you go to the Dolphin Stadium, you will put in $100. You will get 100 credit in Dolphin coin. And that Dolphin coin will buy you a jersey, will buy you a beer, will buy you whatever. And that's what's going to end up happening. And these are going to be driven by Chili's, who has all these deals in place with all the pro leagues. And I'm sure NFTs are coming and so many other things that are going to be able to be on the blockchain. This is how we're going to move on with our lives. You're going to have your money, and it's going to be able to be moved digitally into different wallets. And that's how you're going to end up using it. Forget about just crypto. I'm talking about digital currency. And this is kind of part of it. And Socios, with their fan tokens, I can already envision what these fan tokens are going to be used for inside every one of these team venues and their websites. Okay. And you will probably get benefits from using their coins. And remember, when you use their coins, a lot of times you're going to leave, you're going to get $300, right? And you may end up using $275 and you'll leave $25 there. And they're going to like that. You know why? Because there's 100,000 fans on the blockchain all over the world leaving $25. You do the math. And they start working with that money. That's just sitting there for you, but they're doing something else with it leverage-wise. So it's all a business, and Socios now getting tied to 13 NFL teams that are tying themselves now to the blockchain. I told you earlier on our first KSDT Sports Business Report about the Dallas Cowboys going on blockchain.com. Now you see Socios making a big move after getting Messi. Now they're getting 13 teams in the NFL on their fan token and the blockchain. You keep thinking that crypto isn't going to make it and isn't going to be impactful. Crypto is going to be an entire part of your life. That is our KSDT Sports Business Report.
This has been the KSDT Sports Business Report. KSDT CPA is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax and accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit online at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
All right, we are back here at the KSDT CPA offices in Dadeland. I saw that the Dolphin, the comments by Tua made it to Pro Football Talk. Because obviously, Florio's had him traded like 80 times and replaced 80 times and all of that. And he's been part of the whole going after the kid. So I told you that when I saw that interview yesterday and I saw him say that, I said, oh, money quote. Do all private establishments take crypto as cash payment? No, not yet, man. Not yet. It was funny. I saw, and this is why the media at times, I know I'm in the media, but I also have to be honest, right? And I know that when it comes to crypto, 95% of the world doesn't know anything about it. And so it's one of those things that we're such in the infancy stages of it that people have to learn about it, right? So I think it's NBC or MSNBC, somebody, they sent down a crew to El Salvador to see how Bitcoin's being used since they are becoming a Bitcoin country and all of that, right? And it wasn't everywhere. And it's like, well, wait a minute, they just implemented it a couple months ago. Do you expect the entire country to be using it? Every store and all of that, and they had trouble. It wasn't everywhere. And that's a pro Bitcoin place. But that's going to take a while to set up the infrastructure, especially in a country like that compared to the United States that has every resource in the world to make an easier transition to the blockchain. But it's a convenient story for the media who knows nothing about it to go down to El Salvador and say, well, we went down and it's not really being used that much. Well, of course not, dude. Do you know anything about this? Do you realize that it just was implemented a couple months ago? Do you expect it to be in every store? That everybody was going to have a machine and they could just, go ahead? No. It's going to take a while. So, of course, not every private business is going to accept crypto, but eventually they will. Eventually, KSDT will probably allow you to pay your fee at the end of the year when they do your taxes in Ethereum, in Bitcoin. Eventually, it's going to happen. You don't do it right now, right, Alan? Right now, you don't, right? You don't accept cryptocurrency as payment, right? See? But eventually, they will do it. Why? It's smart. So you're going to pay me with an ascending asset? Bring it on. So my services cost me $50. So I'm going to give you $50 of Bitcoin that maybe a year from now turns into $100. Yeah, bring it on. Why do you think cities now and states want you to pay their taxes in Bitcoin? They're saying, yeah, pay us in, because they're not stupid. Janet Yellen, after spewing all this crap against crypto for the last year and a half, did you watch her 2 days ago? She practically married crypto at the altar. She's going to have crypto babies now. That's how much she's into crypto now. That's because she was into it from the get-go. She was just spewing the FUD to scare the lesser hands away from it so the richer hands can buy it at a cheaper price. I thought you were to hold Bitcoin. Exactly. You hold. You do not sell. You do not use it for purchasing. But in El Salvador and other places, they will end up using it as currency because their currency is not strong enough. The US eventually will make its own digital coin that will replace the digital dollar because we're losing money by just having coins out there. It costs more money to print nickels and dimes and pennies than it does to have them. So eventually we will learn to get rid of all of that and the dirty dollars and those disgusting dollars, and you will have a digital wallet. By the way, how the hell do you panhandle now? Panhandling is going to get a lot harder in the future. So a panhandler is going to come up, can you spare $1? And he's going to show you a phone so you can face it and just pass over a digital dollar. Is that what you're going to do? Nobody's going to do that anymore. You're not going to put your phone up with somebody else that's a stranger that you don't know what, you know what I'm saying? So panhandling is going to get a little harder down the line. Yes, sir.
About 30 minutes ago,
yes,
Paul George entered health and safety protocols. He will be out tonight in the play-in game against the Pelicans.
Oh, God.
I'm not sure if that's going to affect anybody got any money on the game or not.
No, but Pelicans +4 now sounds good.
If they're still there, it's about 25 minutes ago.
Oh, that sucks. I wish I could have gotten it earlier. I would have taken Pelicans because I'm torn on that game because I don't trust the Clippers. And Paul George is a choker anyways, but still now without no Paul George, bring it on. Give me the Pelicans +4. I'll take it. I like it. Bitcoin, by the way, at 40,600 right now. It's held strong over 40,000, man. Last couple of days. It's good. It's good stuff. All right, we got to thank some folks here. Ira Winderman, as always. Manny Navarro Omar Kelly and Cameron Wolf. As always, we got to thank the great folks out here at KSDT CPAs for making it nice and easy for us every single month. We'll be back here next month. And don't forget to do your taxes. And of course, for your personal or business, reach out to our great friends here at KSDT CPAs. They will take care of you. Make sure you mention our program. We thank you, Sean Stanley, as always, mastering the show like you do every single day. Thank you.
I thank you, Orlando, for talking for 2 hours and 57 minutes. Thank you very much.
2 hours and 57? It's 1:19. Didn't I start at 10? Wait a minute.
No, you started at 10, but we did take a 5-minute break.
Oh, okay. You're talking about.
We had a couple breaks and a couple. I'm just talking.
So we did
straight talking. Although those 5-minute break, you were over talking as well. So I changed it up. Thank you for your 2 hours or 3 hours and 2 minutes. Sorry.
So we broke. So we have so it's 20 minutes of breaks in 3 hours, basically.
Yeah. Actually, I think it was 18:25 is what it is.
Let me see if anybody does 3 hours of talk and only 18 minutes of breaks in 3 hours. You tell me how many people do that. You're not going to get that on radio. That's for damn sure. So that's too much talking. Anyway.
I say 1 hour and 57 minutes. I meant to say 2 hours and 57.
Yeah, 2 hours.
Yeah,
you did say 2.
Okay.
You did. I just went over 3 because it's 1:20 right now, so I figured we've been on 3:20, but you took out the breaks. I get it.
And the intros. I don't give it easy to you, all right?
Yeah, that's right.
You gotta earn.
You're right about that. I appreciate all of you out there. We will see you next week, Monday. Don't forget, if you are going to Las Vegas, we will be out there for the NFL draft all week long. And join us at Tommy Rockers. It is right across from the Bellagio, he said, right? It was the Bellagio. So we're right across from the Bellagio. So if you are going out to Las Vegas, join us there. We'll be back in Vegas also in July for the Vegas Summer League. We'll be out there all week for that too. So we've got several trips headed out there. We will be in Daytona, in Flagler Beach.
Yes.
We'll be there early June from the 9th through the 12th, I believe. We will be out there, right? The 12th is a Sunday, the 13th.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah,
No, we do the show on the 13th, then we drive back.
We're doing it what? Thursday,
Friday, and Monday.
Monday, yeah.
Yeah, Thursday, Friday, and Monday. Sunday, I get to see the Interrupters over in what's it called? St. Augustine. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be fun. And then we're going down to the Keys for a dog adoption show that we're going to do out there. Welton Rayom are our proud sponsors, the lawyers. The law office is part of a dog adoption event in the Keys. And as you all know, we've adopted 5 dogs in our home. So we are big on adopting dogs. And I am a huge supporter of adopting animals. There are lots of animals out there that need love and need a great home. We love our 5 dogs. You should find one that you can give a great home to if you can, please. So we're going to be a part of that event also with Welton Rayom, and we're looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be at the Keys for a weekend, and we're going to be doing a good thing, watching people adopt and give dogs new homes. It's good stuff.
No, I don't know that you've talked long enough, so I'm going to ask you another question just because something came in the chat that I found funny.
Oh, okay. What is it?
So, Zutonium Nyborg.
Okay.
Hopefully I said that right. Dancers at clubs will have QR codes on their thongs so you can tip them in crypto.
There you
Maybe
go.
that's what they do. Start doing, getting like a tattoo, QR code, tattooed. You stick it out. Beep.
Yeah, you hit the camera and you get to pick up the QR code, and then you can I'll give her $1. Make it rain.
So for the panhandlers as well, maybe that's.
Right. And we have to do it that way because if it was like crypto coins, you're going to throw up there, you're going to damage, you're going to hurt people there. That's not. Dollars don't hurt, but you can't be throwing crypto coins up there. So, yeah, there you go. That's it. I like it. See, there you got to get creative in this world. All right, we're out of here. We'll see you on Monday. You all be good. We'll see you at 10 a.m., baby. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Love you all.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show.